green. Holy moly. Great job! Yeah! This guy. Thank you! Wow! Hell yeah. Woo-hoo! Great job, man!
Now we got a crash. Car spinning left and right.
Buddy, let her rip. Rain like hell, baby! Come on! Oh my god, guys! Yes! Yes! Unbelievable! You guys are the best! Yes, 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 yes! Oh, what a year!
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Denny Hamlin, aka Black Flags Matter. Don't worry, Jared, they cannot hear you. You guys were muted at the time. I just unmuted you guys. What's going on? We are back for another edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast here on Black Flags Matter. I am Black Flags Matter, of course, aka Darren Gilliam, alongside my usual panel of the Iceberg, Eric Eastep, and Danny B. Talks. All right, fellas, let's not waste any time. Let's get it right into it. We have so many news topics to talk about tonight, but man, we had one hell of a race at Pocono. Eric, you were there in person. Start us off, man. Just talk about that Cup race, man. Look, Denny Hamlin, at first, it looked like, he got the last laugh, but then NASCAR thought otherwise.
Yeah, it was a decent race. Everyone was really curious coming in, to see how the next gen would race at Pocono, a track that for most of the Gen 6 era did not produce the most entertaining, action-packed racing. But we saw in practice and qualifying, top drivers spinning out, crashing out. So you could tell the cars were, as usual, hard to drive, especially off of turn 3 going down the front stretch. That proved really for all three series, especially Xfinity and Cup, to be the true trouble spot this weekend. But no, the race was good. Atmosphere was fantastic. They condensed everything back into one weekend for Pocono this season. ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity Cup, all four of them making their one and only stop in the same weekend. So at least there was plenty of content, just all condensed into into just a couple of days here. But we saw the best crowd at Pocono in like a decade
since 2010.
Yep. In the stands, campgrounds, and granted, I'd never been to Pocono previously, but the campgrounds looked pretty full. I was blown away because this was my first trip out to Pocono. I was blown away by just how big everything is. Like, it's a 2.5 mile track. I knew that, same as Daytona, but like Daytona, because there's so many businesses and things all around it, I guess in a way it feels kind of smaller, like everything's packed in, whereas Pocono, it just feels so wide open, so sprawling. And so I don't know, I was kind of blown away by just the sheer scale of the racetrack. But it was a nice facility, nice weather for the most part, some rain threatening here and there on and off, but it was a great day and a good race that had, of course, a controversial finish that I know we'll get into before long.
Well, I saw as I said, since 2010, and I looked it up, I have it written here. The crowds in 2010 were 100,000 and 105,000. So if it's the biggest since then, it's one of the biggest crowds of the year.
They probably had at least 50 or 60,000 in the stands, and then probably another 50, 30, 40, 50,000 in the campgrounds. I don't know exactly, but
I think the campgrounds can fit like 45 to 50K. So
yeah,
it was pretty good.
Close to 100,000. I think we can ballpark it. Yeah.
I see why some fans are definitely all in favor of just some tracks having one race, or just every track just having one race. But yeah, Danny, what do you think?
Well, yeah, sometimes you got to tell the market, hey, if you wanted to see NASCAR, this is your only chance. And I think there's a lot more dates that could stand to have this, but for now, it looks like it worked for Pocono.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it, man. Look, Denny Hamlin looked like he won the race at first, but then NASCAR did their little post-race inspection.
We're going to need that back there, pal.
Yeah, and look, I know back in 2019, Denny Hamlin was praying to the tech gods, and the tech gods came back and bit him right in the ass, unfortunately. Not just him, but also Kyle Busch got DQ'd as well inside the top 3.
It's because the tech gods know it's hot chase summer at this point. The man has 5 straight top 2 finishes.
He does.
And he's on a roll. I made fun of it in my post-race stream. Like, how will he ever recover from his worst finish in 5 races?
He won a race, but he didn't lead a single lap. That's something we don't see every day. So.
I really wish that I would have hit play on my background here. But I really wish I would have filmed these guys' reaction when I told them at dinner. Eric had said in our chat that Chase is the winner, and I looked at my phone and I was like, oh my god.
We went out to eat.
Chase
what was the restaurant again we ate at, Danny? What was
it? It was a Mongolian barbecue restaurant, but it was pretty good food. But I had my phone. I was like, oh my god, Chase Elliott won. Everyone busted into laughter.
Yeah, we all started laughing, man.
Because it was like, well, here's the funniest part, right? Claudia is a Chase Elliott fan. My girlfriend Riss is a Denny Hamlin fan, sitting almost directly across from each other. And the difference of reaction was like something you'd see out of the show Modern Family, where you just pan the camera really quick over.
One went from being content with a third place to now they have 4 wins, and the other one went from a win to being dead last.
And then there's my brother I'll say this. My brother is not very much into NASCAR. And he watched like the entire last half of the race and was like fully invested. And so he's like, what the F? I watched that whole race for nothing. The guy in third one. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the name of the game, though. I mean, you know, F around and find out. That's NASCAR's policy now.
And here's the thing I want to discuss really quick, too. And we can, we'll start off talking about this, and then we can definitely move on. But, you know, cheating in NASCAR is nothing new. It's just, these teams definitely bend the rules all the time. They just don't get caught. But here's the thing. Toyota was stupid enough to make it public and be like, "Oh, we've sure found a lot of speed. I don't know why." Right, Jared?
Yeah.
Like during the third weekend.
During qualifying, you know, they had talked about it a bit, and Rick Allen had brought up. He's like, "Yeah, I was talking to some people from Toyota and Denny Hamlin's crew, and they said they've done something this weekend that's made the car really fast."
Yeah,
like,
something illegal.
like, you morons!
You're not supposed to. With this car, you're not supposed to do something.
And that the first thing came to my head. I'm like, is he gonna get called out in tech? And then he failed. He failed after
race a couple times. Yeah,
they did not inspect the other 2 Joe Gibbs cars or the 2 2311 cars. The backup for Ty Gibbs probably would have been fine, but I really think those other 3 might have had something too.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
There's a chance. There's a good chance.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know, but yeah, I mean, 2 Toyotas in the top 3 got DQ'd, so yeah, there definitely is a chance there. But Eric, you were there at the race and stuff. I mean, like, look, Denny Hamlin and those Toyotas looked absolutely dominant all weekend, and then all of a sudden, just to get the win taken away and stuff. And this is really the first time, like, that I can remember
since 1960.
Since 1960, that basically the winner who crossed the finish line first, the driver who crossed the finish line first didn't end up getting the victory. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, first off, did they break the rule? It seems black and white that they did. They had 2 pieces of tape, like each car on the front ends, kind of on the I don't know the terminology. Right before you get to the wheel well opening, they had 2 pieces of tape under the wrap, creating a minuscule little, maybe bulge or smoothing of the whatever it is, the bend in the body,
like
whatever.
Seam.
I don't know if it was specifically a seam, but whatever it is, the bend there, they're trying to smooth that out. Maybe a minuscule change, something that perhaps the OSS, laser scanner couldn't even pick up, but it was enough that officials could see it with the naked eye during the final teardown. So I don't know. To me, clearly they did something wrong, and so I think the disqualification was justified. But it is frustrating to go from winning a race, a historic win. I believe this was his 7th win at Pocono.
It would have made him the most of all time winning this driver. Yeah.
And I believe it would have tied him with Tony Stewart on the all-time wins list, a driver who was at Joe Gibbs Racing when Hamlin first got there, kind of an icon of the sport, obviously. So to have all that go away, and even worse, to see those 5 playoff points go not even to another Toyota driver, but go to Chase Elliott, who has clearly in the last few weeks emerged as the championship frontrunner already, like that has to sting. That's the kind of thing that feels like a gut punch.
He already has the most momentum in the Cup Series right now, Chase Elliott does, and then they just gave it to him on a silver platter, man. But I mean, Chase Elliott, he's been very public in his comments too. He's like, he won the race, but like it sounds like he wants nothing to do with it. Basically, he doesn't even want the trophy.
What I've noticed about Chase Elliott in his previous few years, he's getting to where he knows he's in a position where he can say how he feels, how he truly feels about stuff, and he will say it. He'll say it exactly how he sees it. If he doesn't like something, he's going to say it. Like when I asked him about Nashville Super Speedway, he was very vocal to me that he thought they should be racing at the fairgrounds instead of Super Speedway. In this case, hey, you ask him, do you feel like you won? And he's going to straight up say, no, I don't feel like I won.
Yeah. So getting disqualified is one thing, but obviously what made it worse was not only the post-race celebration stuff, Hamlin doing the whole Steph Curry sleep thing and then getting the win, taken away and stuff. Like, you're not him, bro. At least for this weekend, you're not him. But and then all that, and then his daughter getting the checkered flag and stuff. It was a real wholesome moment. But then of course, we all know what happens. But
no, and the best part about that. Like I felt so bad. I do feel for his daughter, but I will say the fact that they tweeted she won't forget about this one.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like very poor choice of words.
Definitely won't, for sure. But the thing that made this even worse was that earlier in the race, his arch nemesis, him and Ross Chastain were battling for the lead, and he didn't give up a single inch, and then Ross Chastain gets taken out, and everyone thought, oh, hey, Hamlin got him back, but obviously not. I mean, like, yes, he did get him back, but I mean, he got the win taken away. So
that's the question. So he
are they
he
even
did that,
now?
He intentionally put Chastain in the wall. That was his kind of subtle retaliation disguised as hard racing for the win. But it was supposed to be when it matters most, going for the win, right? That's what Hamlin always said. When it matters most, I'll get him back. This retaliation should have netted Hamlin a win, but now as a result, Ross Chastain still finished ahead of him in the final final scorecard. So, are they even? Do you think Hamlin now?
No. There's been Chastain has had more incidents with Hamlin than now Hamlin has of him.
See,
so they're not even yet.
See, I thought they were even at first, but then all of a sudden, Hamlin gets DQ'd and stuff. So I'm like, no, technically no, right?
You know who should be most pissed off at Denny Hamlin for that is Kevin Harvick.
Oh,
he got taken out by an illegal car, and he was probably the best car behind the two Gibbs cars. Like he realistically could have had that win, and instead had a wrecked race car. Like either way, Harvick was looking really well set before that crash happened.
He will remember the fact that he was taken out and their drama if he's racing around either of those two.
Oh yeah, I think it'll come back to haunt him. It'll come back to haunt him because Harvick is the type of driver he don't forget anything.
Well, Darian, I'm curious, and I want everyone's take on this, but do you think how Hamlin chose to retaliate against Chastain was fair, or do you think it was over the line because other drivers were involved?
It was absolutely perfectly fair, and here's why. Because if it were battling for 20th, that would be viewed as very stupid. But since they were battling for the lead, it makes perfect sense,
But we had a big argument a couple of weeks ago after Atlanta about whether or not Chase Elliott's was fair, and it was for the lead with less laps to go. Like I at a high-speed track like that in front of the whole field, that it's pretty stupid.
No, I get that. I get that side of the argument too. I was seeing some other people on Twitter talking about that. It's like, yeah, look, I get wrecking him, in the front at a short track, but like at a high-speed track like Pocono, yeah, I also get that as well.
I've seen Pocono races where somebody got into someone else up front, caused a crash, and like a car damn near flipped over because of it. Like it was a pretty stupid move.
Yeah, that wreck could have been worse because I mean he did come back into traffic like that, but at the same time, Hamlin didn't do anything. He didn't. When we were at Gateway, everyone thought he was going to right rear him, nose into the wall. He didn't do that there. He didn't do that here. It reminded me of what Chase Elliott did to Denny Hamlin at Phoenix back in 2017. Just raced him a little hard, put him in the wall.
Yeah, Hamlin simply didn't leave him any room, and then as a result, Chastain he wrecked him. He wrecked.
I think that part is fine. Like like that. If honestly, if you're kind of thinking about it, Chastain at that point, if you know that he's just going to keep running up the track, like back out.
He should have backed off. Yeah,
he's going to screw himself out of the corner, and you can go underneath.
I wonder because he would have had to do it really early because there was a point where Hamlin actually came up and made contact with Chastain. At that point, I think Ross might have been screwed either way. There was no chance to lift. He was going into the wall, so he would have had to lift really early in Ross's defense. That's why, like you heard some people kind of saying that, Hamlin just gave Chastain the opportunity to wreck himself. I don't agree with that. Denny Hamlin, if he doesn't race like that, if it's anybody else was outside, he intentionally put Ross Chastain in an extremely dangerous and vulnerable position.
And remember, NBC or not the NBC, the USA cameras did a shot of his one of his crew guys. I think it's car chief doing the I don't care. I don't really care.
He came in the media center. It was obviously on purpose. He meant to wedge him into the wall and end his race. That was his whole goal.
Ross said it himself in the interviews after. He said, "I had it coming."
Yeah, and Ross acknowledged. Yeah, exactly. He knew what it was. They all knew what it was, and I think I agree with pretty much all you guys. I think it was fair what Hamlin did, walling him there, kind of in a passive aggressive way, if that's possible. He didn't just right hook him or plow through him like Kenseth did to Logano, but it's the fact that he did it at high speeds in front of 35 cars. he's lucky that Harvick was really the
And-
only other guy
and-
involved.
Yeah,
quite honestly,
and affected the race of somebody who's on the playoff bubble, Kevin Harvick.
like it's not exactly the same as what Gregson did to Sage Karam, because there he did just right hook a guy, but it is
Yeah.
the same in the sense that he intentionally wrecked a guy at high speeds in front of the whole pack. Like, and we trashed Gregson pretty, I think, justifiably so for that move. I feel like Hamlin deserves at least some criticism for what he did here, and that's why I think I agree with whichever one of you guys said Harvick should be pissed. I agree with you on that.
I think everyone
Well,
said that.
no, well,
Yeah.
So
Everyone agreed on that.
I was listening to Dale Jr.'s podcast last night, and like him and Mike Davis are going back and forth, and Jr.'s just like, he is a 41-year-old driver who knows what the hell he's doing. He totally did that on purpose, and he knew it. And he's seen his driver previously, before he's his driver, get fined for saying that he wrecked someone on purpose or did something on purpose. He's not just going to outright say it.
No.
So it's like, because I did get a lot of people after the race who were like, oh, it wasn't on purpose. It was just hard racing. It's like, really?
Dude,
Like,
it
I
was
wasn't born
built up.
yesterday.
That was built up, man.
I wasn't born yesterday. Like everyone knows that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't think they were even before that. I think Ross still has some more coming to him. And the fact that Ross said it over the radio, I think right after it, I think further proves it. Like Ross knows that he's kind of screwed and just needs to atone.
Well, now again, like you might have to worry about Harvick down the road too. And who knows?
You do.
Yeah, who knows what? Like if he'll find some speed again too. Like if Ross needs like an extra point to advance or whatever, and Harvick doesn't, he needs to pass Harvick. Oh, that's not going to be good. That's going to be entertaining for us, not good for Chastain. But it really goes back to the subject we had talked about a few weeks ago. It's like, oh, can Chastain win a championship, racing like this, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is the first instance. I mean, and again, I had said at the time, like, look, I mean, there are certain guys that can get away with this because they're quick enough. You have the guys like a Brad Keselowski and also a Joey Logano who can get away with this stuff because they're so quick. But Chastain, like, yeah, he's quick, but, like, is he quick enough to get away from all this other, from his enemies and stuff? Like, I just don't think so, and I think this is the first instance of it, so, yeah. But, Eric, do you still stand by what you said a few weeks ago? Like, he's definitely not going to win a championship driving like this?
I think, well, you know what? If Hamlin continues to use his bullets early on, then maybe Ross will be a little flexible come playoff time. But I'm with you guys. I think Hamlin still feels he owes Ross at least something. Heck, even Chase Elliott after the race, when asked about some of the Hamlin Chastain content, even Elliott sounded like he still kind of wants to knock Chastain around a little bit. Like he still has no friends in the garage area, so that part does not change.
Yeah.
No friends in the industry, that's for sure, for Ross Chastain. But hey, look, that happened, but you also had some other stuff happening before the Sunday's race. Unfortunately, Kurt Busch had to miss due to concussion-like symptoms after he suffered a crash in qualifying. What was it? In the final round of qualifying, he suffered a...
Final round of qualifying, he spun out coming out of turn 3, I think.
Dang.
And he backed into the wall very hard and then had kind of like a very whipping effect back to the front. So you have to imagine almost a whiplash effect, but definitely a chance that concussions could have been caused by that force.
Well, what it reminded me, because I was at this race, was when Dale Jr. got his in 2016, and what that whipping effect, like from what it was explained, is what it does. It's kind of like when you get hit on the side in football, and so I had this, and what happens is like you move, but your brain doesn't, and so it's like your brain moves inside your head and it gets hit. And so it's like that. When I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, that looked like it would hurt bad."
As junior fans, most of us were junior fans. It definitely has us concerned and feeling similar to 2016.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Kurt Busch, he's already at the late stages of his career, and earlier that week, he was hinting that 2023 might be his final season in the Cup Series as well.
It was pretty well believed that Reddick would be taking over his car. So
but then after it was announced he wouldn't be able to race, out of nowhere that Sunday morning, just hours before the race, Ty Gibbs is announced that he will be making his Cup Series debut. And already the odds makers, they were just immediately in favor of him. He was plus 3,000 to win, tied with Danny B's favorite driver, Alex Bowman. I'm like, dang, just the disrespect.
I mean,
Bowman there. Like, wait a minute.
I don't know if that should be bad for defending winner of the race or good for Ty Gibbs that he's at the same as the defending winner of the race.
I'm like, dang, like we're gonna hype him. I'm like, he hasn't even had practice yet. I mean, he entered this race no sort of next gen experience outside of the simulators. So those first few stages were basically practice for him, but then he wound up competing for the top 15 at the end. So it was a very decent start. So let me ask the panel this. I mean, after seeing what we saw last weekend, at this point, do we feel Ty Gibbs is Cup Series ready, or are we jumping the gun on it?
I think personally he's been ready. He's had a few moments. Obviously, his fight with Sam Mayer was a little extreme, but he's calmed down. He's got a cool head, from my understanding. I think they've even talked about it. He's shown a lot of maturity in a lot of ways, and I mean, just being around the entire JGR organization, literally his entire life. Like, there's pictures of him as a kid just around the shop. He knows what's expected of that organization. It's provided that's where he would be. Joe Gibbs or 2311, basically the extension of Joe Gibbs. He knows what that team expects of him as a driver, and he's shown just through how many races he's won and how many good performances he's had. He knows how to drive a race car. So yeah, I think he's definitely ready for Cup.
No, I agree. I think he's absolutely ready to start driving in Cup Series races. I think, last week at Pocono, there was absolutely no pressure on him. He was starting at the rear, never made a lap in a next gen car. He was fit into Kurt Busch's suit. They had to fold it up and hem it at the legs so he could fit into it.
It said Cup Series champion.
It had Kurt Busch's Twitter handle on the back. Like, there was absolutely he could have run 30th all day and nobody would have batted an eye.
Need to throw it in a dryer for a few minutes. I don't know what they did.
So I think, he's obviously going to fill in for Kurt again at Indianapolis. We'll talk about that a little later on this weekend. But I think these races are perfect because there is no pressure. He's not running for points. Nobody expects anything of it because he hasn't had any time to think about it, prepare for this moment this season, driving not even a Joe Gibbs car. It's a 2311 car that, has a win this year, but it's been very up and down, very inconsistent. There is no pressure. This is the greatest chance for Ty Gibbs to practice and get his feet wet in the Cup Series. But I think next year for sure, full-time. He should be full-time next year. I think Joe Gibbs Racing would be making a mistake if he wasn't. Obviously, he'd have to replace Kyle Busch. And, Kyle Busch is a great driver too. You'd hate to replace Kyle Busch at this stage in his career. But, let's just say Ty Gibbs is not a bad contingency plan. Let's put it that way.
I want to slow down just a little just because it's only one race we've seen him. And I think he should get more Cup Series experience, but I want to slow down on the full-time part for now until I see how he does at Indy. And I'm assuming he's like, they got to have some kind of extra race or two for him later in the year. Like, I wouldn't throw him in cold turkey, but I mean, a month ago, we were all talking about how he wasn't ready because of his immaturity. And now, like, with one race, it feels like everyone has kind of flipped that script. I want to see how he does at Indy on a road course. First time in the next gen car at a road course. And if he's relatively competitive, runs top 20, I think then you'll start having more of a complete picture. Kurt Busch might be out the rest of the season. He might have another, 15 races to prove himself. I think seeing a more full picture will really show if he is ready. Right now, though, I do think that the plan should be to try and keep him in Xfinity a little longer, just so for sure they know he's ready. But right now, like, I don't want to jump the gun on him yet.
Even if they move him up to Cup next year, I think run him in as many Xfinity races as he's legally allowed to be in, because I think there's still that protocol that after you've made a jump from Xfinity to Cup, you have, like, I think 5 seasons where you're not limited to only like 5 races. So he could still run pretty much the entire season in Xfinity before playoffs if he went to Cup next year.
So I think the only reason I would want Ty Gibbs in Xfinity for another full-time season is so he can grow, emotionally. He can mature.
Yes.
Mentally. I think physically, as a race car driver, he's ready to start making laps in the Cup Series right now, because I think every week he doesn't drive the next gen, he's losing out to the other young drivers like Austin Cindric or Christopher Bell or Eric
even
Jones.
Jeff Burton made a point during the broadcast, like, hey, how many of these young guys are moving up to Cup immediately trying to get as much time?
I think he has a vested interest.
Yeah, of course.
I think also, like, mentally, Ty Gibbs just carries himself like he knows he's good enough to be a Cup Series talent.
I will say this as well. Following him around, and granted, it was a big day, ton of media on Sunday, but following him around a little bit on Sunday before the Cup race, Joe Gibbs Racing, they've got handlers around him. Like, he is on a tight leash His PR guy is in the media scrum, a la Chase Elliott. You know, Chase Elliott, when fans come up to him in the garage area, they have a PR guy or basically a bouncer trying to get people away. They've got that built in place for Ty Gibbs right now to help, I think, control his how he responds to media, help control the exposure, you know, a little bit. So I think they're going about him the right way. They do have him on a tight leash. So if he does go cup racing next year, the maturity stuff isn't as big a concern as it might have been a few months ago after the, you know, Martinsville outburst.
Yeah, like I'm kind of in the middle, I guess you could say. I would prefer Ty Gibbs to run full time next year in the Xfinity Series because, in my opinion, what's the rush? I mean, how old is he? He's not even 20 yet, right?
I think he's just 19.
Or he's 19. Yeah. So
so.
he's about to be turned. He's not even 21 yet. So there's still, you know, a lot of time for him to develop. But I wouldn't be opposed to him running a potential part-time schedule. Maybe. Yeah, some races here and there.
That might be the perfect. I'd agree. That's probably the perfect balance. As he runs like 10 Cup races,
ease his way into the Cup Series. Because I mean, we've seen that with other guys too. I mean, it worked for Chase Elliott. He ran like 5 Cup races in 2016, or no, in 2015 before moving on full time.
Ty is 19. His birthday is October 4th, so he'll be 20 in October.
Yeah, so I mean, but definitely
look at.
He doesn't.
Sorry,
yeah, but
sorry. I had to say it.
But he is definitely, without a doubt, a potential future star for sure. But really quick, we have just over 700 people watching, but only 131 likes, y'all. Make sure to lick the like button, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to tonight's edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, moving on. So, unfortunately, you know, it's great that Ty Gibbs made his NASCAR debut and anything, but unfortunately, it was at the expense of Kurt Busch, suffering concussion-like symptoms, which begs the question, and this has been a question that has been asked really since, you know, next-gen testing had started, you know, last year, too, and even a couple years ago. Do these next-gen cars have a safety problem? Jarrett?
So it's kind of, I will say it's kind of hard to judge just because, you know, each incident has to be seen on its own and each driver to see what led up to it. A lot of people brought up a really good point this week that Kurt Busch had been in a lot of really hard accidents in the previous, I'd say like 10 weeks or so. But at the same time, like you have a lot of drivers who aren't as old, guys like Joey Logano and Austin Dillon, for instance, like saying that they're having headaches later in the week. They're still sore.
Same thing. He said the same thing.
And you know, it never was actually shot down about the William Byron rumors that he had been hurt, you know, like had gotten a concussion in his Auto Club test earlier beforehand. I don't think it's something where NASCAR is being negligent, at least not purposefully. But I would say that, you know, if these guys are having headaches after crashes or after hits, more than likely, at least from my experience, it's probably that's probably either a concussion-like symptom or a light concussion. Like it's not good to have headaches after hits days later. Like that usually shows that something is wrong. So in that respect, like, yeah, I mean, if lighter hits are hurting drivers more, like that is a safety problem. Yeah,
it's something to be concerned on, but it's also like something like that. We really we can't ever truly run away from those kind of things either. A sport that's as high paced, high energy as NASCAR, it's bound to happen at some point.
But it's more common. That's the thing. It's more common than it was in years past. And that's where I think the problem comes in is that, yes, we can't get away from it fully. Like in the Gen 6, you know, I think Eric Almirola broke his back. You saw Dale Jr. get concussions. Casey Kane got concussions. But at the same time, it was not something that was like an ongoing story throughout the year that you could pinpoint moments that drivers are saying even light hits are getting them hurt. And so that's where I'm more worried with.
Yeah, Bob Pockris said that NASCAR would consider the Kurt Busch impact a medium impact based on their scale this year. So yes, Kurt Busch, one of the oldest drivers, maybe been in some wrecks lately, was already, maybe prone to a potential concussion, but that was not a heavy impact. But it was rear end first, which drivers have said that you feel those forces more so than even a head-on collision with this new car. Everyone knows the new car is too stiff in the front and the rear, and that's causing drivers to feel more of these impacts. You just rattled off a bunch of drivers, Jarrett, who've talked about headaches, who've said hits are bigger this year. Throw Bubba Wallace into the mix. He said at Atlanta earlier this year that was the heaviest hit he's ever taken in a race car. No, this is serious. And again, I agree with you. I don't think NASCAR is intentionally being negligent. I think this is just a serious design flaw that they're their hands are kind of tied on. They can make some small changes, like right before the season, they tweak the front and rear clips, some of the pins to help give a little bit more. But right now, there's a season going on. There's a race schedule here in just a few days. There's only so much they can do right here, right now. But I think the reason it's good that we all keep talking about it, NASCAR knows, but the reason it's good we all keep talking about it is that NASCAR hopefully continues to move this higher and higher on their priority list, because this should be at or very near the top of things they need to fix before next season, because this ends careers. We've seen several star drivers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of the more recent ones, have their careers cut short due to either concussions or, like in Carl Edwards' case, I don't know that he ever had a concussion, but perhaps concerns over concussions. We don't want to see that continue. Yeah. We do not want to see that continue. And if, Kurt Busch is obviously one of the older drivers nearing retirement anyways, but Christopher Bell is young. He's an up-and-coming star. Bubba Wallace is a young, up-and-coming star. We cannot have concussion. We cannot accept that concussions are going to shorten these careers when we've done such a good job of preventing them for years and years.
And I get where Danny's coming from to a certain extent. It's like, yeah, look, when you're going, 200 miles per hour at some places consistently on track, in some of these crashes, you are bound to have some, scrapes and bruises and, injuries here and there and stuff like that. I mean, it's bound to happen. But I mean, like, safety should always be a main priority and stuff. And, like, it just seems like with the next gen, like, all of these safety rumors have just been, in my opinion, just negative, even, dating back to just the testing and stuff. All the rumors you would hear, some of the industry being like, oh, yeah, there was a test dummy. Well, what was that whole test dummy story?
Didn't Ryan Newman straight up say he didn't think it was safe?
Yeah, did he? Oh, I don't remember that, but I guess
he said it at one point, but it was very early in the process of it.
Yeah, so.
I'm glad that this is as big of a story as it is, though. Just like not in the sense of Kurt getting hurt, but more just the fact that like fans still show that this is important to them, and even after over 20 years now of drivers, for the most part, not being seriously injured and no drivers dying, I love the fact that fans still take this just as seriously as they seem to have back then. Where I'm most worried is, I'll be real, I'm most worried about 3 tracks: Michigan, Daytona, Talladega, 3 high-speed tracks.
Those are coming up.
And I'm worried with the playoffs a little bit too, just because I don't expect drivers to take it easy. I expect drivers to go all out. And when drivers go all out, just like in any sport, things happen that aren't, that wouldn't happen if a driver was going 95% compared to what at that time is 100%. So I'm hoping that NASCAR can try and figure something out before the end of the season. That way there's just that little added barrier of protection compared to what we have right now.
Yeah, agreed. Look, I speak for all the fan base and us on the panel. We do not want to see drivers hurt. We want to see them define death, and we want to see them on track first and foremost. So wishing Kurt Busch a speedy recovery. Hopefully, I'm assuming he will get a playoff waiver. I'm assuming that. I mean,
I think he has. Yeah, he'll get one. The fear though is if he drops further in points and we do get 17 winners, he'll be out.
Oh,
that's the only concern. But
he won't.
It's a long way from happening.
Yeah, Bob confirmed that they're like, Corey LaJoie would have to make up 48 points a race to catch him for him to be outside the top 30. So I think we're good there. But what I'm questioning is, he's got the playoff waiver, but what happens if he has to miss the first race or 2 of the playoffs? Does NASCAR take him out, or do they keep him in because he can race 1 or 2 of those races?
I think they still lead in the playoffs. He's just going to be screwed to be the last card in the playoffs.
Yeah, he'll just probably
sorry.
So if he wins like the 3rd race of the first round, he comes back and just wins that race. There's a lot of what ifs here, but I think they'll let him in, and then if he just doesn't race, he'll finish 16th. That's what I'm guessing.
So he could make the playoffs if if he misses the rest of the season. That's literally. I mean, I went on about Bubba being a wasted playoff spot because of performance.
You got to remember Bristol's in there. He's really good at Bristol.
But what if he doesn't?
Let's cross this bridge when we get there, Jay.
But I think it's a good question. Like, what if he doesn't if he's too hurt to make it the rest of the season or a good portion? Does NASCAR keep him in or not? I think that's a really good question. I don't know the answer to it.
We got a few weeks, like Eric said. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Kyle Busch. How many races did Busch miss in 2015? Like 10, 11?
But he didn't miss any playoff races.
Well, but I'm saying if Kurt misses 3 playoff races, he's out. That's just 3 races. Then we won't talk about him the rest of the season.
I'm wondering if
like,
NASCAR will pull a
it's a-
shenanigan and get someone else in.
It's a week by week thing. Like, he didn't know he was going to miss Indy until today. So like, he's not going to go into the playoffs saying, "Hey guys, I already know I can't race the next 3 weeks." More than likely.
At this
I don't know.
point, let's just say he's coming to the race after Indy. Was it Michigan?
Yeah, he sounded like he thought he'd race at Indy, so he sounded surprised that he's not able to race this weekend. So I think he'll be back, but
It's a good question to ask though, because it's like
Jeff Gordon, put him in the playoffs. He's in.
Well, no, I'm just trying to make the point that, like, if not, does NASCAR then open up another spot, since of course that driver cannot make those races?
Sure, let's have 17 people in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I'm saying take Kurt out since he hasn't been in those races, and then lower that line down. You guys can brush it off, but it's a real possibility.
I'm confused. Are you saying they make that decision when the playoffs start, or like after the first round is over?
Like, if Kurt misses X amount of races, and like we're going towards Daytona, and it's still a question if he can even race, what's the point of keeping him in if he, there's a real possibility he can't even race in the playoffs? Like that. I think that's something that NASCAR needs to take into account and bring up to him right away. Like, what's the point of having somebody in there if you hear the ambulance coming right now? They're coming to my no, I'm kidding. But that, like, what's the point of having somebody in there if they literally cannot compete in any way for the championship and wouldn't even be able to take up NASCAR on that waiver?
I think they might consider it if we get 16 winners and Ryan Blaney is on the outside looking in, third or fourth in points.
And Eric, thank you for the segue. Thank you for the segue. Jarrett, keep up with that story. We'll come back to it.
You got his tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, give it up. We'll see.
You know what?
Alex Jones here, man.
You know what?
UFO.
Screw it. When he comes back, we're just going to start over. Then we'll start the season over.
I spin the UFO, okay?
Hey, no. Hey, look, that's not even a freaking conspiracy theory compared to what I was called last night. If you followed my Twitter, you saw it and you were laughing. It was funny. But anyways, now let's move on though. Speaking of Ryan Blaney, the playoff cut line. We have 5 races to go officially in the regular season, and let's go over the playoff cut line. It is very brief. But Ryan Blaney is sitting 15th in points, just plus 500, not 500, just plus 105 points above the cut line. And then in 16th is Martin Truex Jr., plus 83. And the only one who could potentially maybe make it in on points, maybe at this point, is Kevin Harvick. But unfortunately, he's minus 83. So now he's a full race outside of like making up the points. So, fellas, I mean, we can talk about this cut line. I mean, do we still feel that there will be 16 plus winners, or?
I think there'll be at least 15. I'm sticking with my 15. But yeah, I look at Blaney. Blaney had a bad weekend at Pocono between flat tire, then wrecking later on. He lost a ton of points to Truex.
He was running in the top 5 at the time.
He lost a lot of points to Truex by wrecking out, and so that's going to be an interesting story to watch because whoever I would not want to be the 16th guy right now because I think there'll be 15 winners, and there's a chance it won't be either Truex or Blaney, Harvick or Jones or Bubba. Somebody could leapfrog him, so I don't want to be 16th. That's the only interesting points battle left in my opinion is Blaney versus Truex, which is there's 22 point difference right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think that it's just you got to win, and if you're somebody like Kurt Busch, you hope to God that there's not more than 16 because I think it's a realistic chance. I still don't think it's going to happen, but it's a realistic chance that there's 17 winners and there's guys that are going to miss it that win.
Coming off the heels of what happened this week, they got a lot to prove, and he's halfway decent on road courses. What if Michael McDowell gets a win? He's still in the top 30, so
he's still at Brad Keselowski.
There's a lot of possibilities, but yeah, look, and then when you look at the regular season standings, I'm assuming Truex is still sitting in the top 5, and I don't know where Blaney's at. I'm assuming Blaney's, he
might have slipped to 5th.
Yeah.
He's 4th or 5th, I think.
So they're both basically still in the top 5, or at least right around the top 5. And just the fact that they might miss the playoffs, and if not just one, but both of them end up missing, oh my gosh, just everyone's going to be, NASCAR fans are going to be rioting over that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, look, it's entertainment, hey, NASCAR wants this, so hey, NASCAR's loving this points battle, I'm assuming. But hey, that's a cut line. We'll see how that ends up. But the ratings, though, this weekend we had some pretty decent ratings, I'd say, in my opinion. A 1.56 in the rating category, followed by 2.5. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say for USA Network, I'll say this is really good.
Yeah. No, for the USA Network standards, that's definitely really good. And then for the viewership, 2.5 or basically 2.6 million viewers for Sunday's race, and then it's up 6% in viewership from the Sunday race in 2021, and then 444,000 in the key demographic, counting for 17% of the audience. However, is down just 3% from 2020 on FS1, also down 4% from 2019 on NBCSN, and down 6% from 2018 also on NBCSN. But still, for the USA Network standards, still pretty decent.
And I'll add a little more to this. That's all within like 100,000 viewers of each other.
Yeah, consistent for Pocono.
Yeah, that's consistent.
So,
but yeah, good weekend for the ratings, though, for sure. And then let's see. Oh yes. It is time for that segment. Speaking of ratings, we are about to move on to the poll, the famous iceberg poll on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Jarrett, what do you have on the poll?
So I have it written down over here, 14.3K votes. So we're going up each week.
Did anyone hack this poll, Jarrett? Nobody hacked the poll? Okay, good.
No.
Okay. Some other polls been hacked.
16% said it was a great race. 57% said it was good. So that means it's a 73% net positive. 19% said it was average. 4% below average. 5% said it was bad. So 9% net negative.
Oh, 5%. Oh, they definitely Hamlin fans definitely went back. They changed the results after the race, probably. Hamlin and Kyle Busch fans. Like, oh, bad race.
Yeah, well, the first comment was from Tank Slapper. What do you guys think? Is it positive, negative, or meme?
It's a meme.
Meme. With Tank Slapper, it's a meme.
Big memes.
Definitely.
It says, hopefully the beef is over between Hamlin and Chastain. I'd hate to see this rivalry turn into more of a demolition derby than it already is.
Well, that's just an actual insightful comment.
This is an insightful comment. Wow.
That's just an actual,
I'm not adding a fourth option to what we think it's going to be.
Wow, what a diverse chat.
So no one won that one.
Yeah.
No. But looking at some of the other ones, you got TJ right here says, can we all agree that the next gen car is saved intermediates? Let's just forget about Texas. They all have been solid races this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's see. Thomas Franco says Kurt was finally abducted by aliens. The sponsor fire commercial is real. Seriously, though, great run for Ty, and hopefully Kurt is okay and recovers quickly.
Yeah, hopefully.
Chris Martinez says this race sums up William Byron's season. Started in the back, drove up to P4, and his crew makes a mistake, and he has to drive all the way back up through the pack and ends up P14.
But to be fair, Byron hasn't done himself any favors neither. So, yeah.
Austin Higgins says, great strategy race. I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
We always need one of those every once in a while. Oh, this is a good one. Philip Richards put this one, and it's an updated one. So initially on Sunday, he put solid top 10 for McDowell in pure speed again. So glad to finally see him getting some consistent success. Update 726. I should have kept my damn mouth shut.
You're turning into me on Twitter, bro. Oh.
I think everyone is, man. Yeah. No one is safe. No one is safe. Oh, let's see what else we got. Turbo Kart 37 says, I'm a Kurt Busch fan. That's all I really need to say about how I'm feeling right now. I know I have brother.
Yeah.
Burnt Pizza says Chase Elliott's the first driver in NASCAR history to win a race without leading a single lap. This season is crazy.
That's a fact.
That is a new name, and that is a fun name right there. Burnt Pizza.
Yeah.
I like that one.
But yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, it's a crazy fact.
Cade Stout says symbolic race for KFB's 2022. Dominates only to finish second in his sponsor's send-off race while his possible replacement debuts in his injured brother's car. Jeez.
Damn, man.
A lot of connections there.
Yeah.
And I'm the one with the conspiracies.
We've been seeing a lot of those this week. A lot of those conspiracies.
It's been a fun week, man. It's been fun. Braden Vaughn says, average to good. The Hamlin Chastain thing helped a lot, but all the strategy, he puts in quotes, seemed to just all work out for everyone. okay,
Yeah.
that still makes it good.
Yeah, I look. I've been watching NASCAR way before stages and stuff, and I low key miss I miss some of these strategy races too. With the stages, you just don't see that many anymore.
I love the name of this one. 2001 Honda Civic says, good pit strategy, good storylines coming in and out of Pocono, good drama, 9 out of 10 race. Of course, you have a bunch of Mickey Mouse, Chase Elliott ones.
Oh.
You're going to see those.
Yeah.
By the way, as we're closing in on 800 live viewers, click that like button, y'all.
Click the like button.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get to the bottom 5.
Oh, here
we all know what's going to be making up a lot of these.
The
comments.
bottom of the barrel. Oh, my favorite part of this segment.
All right, we got Andrew Winslow saying just Mickey Mouse. We got DJ O'Connor saying IndyCar race was on, didn't watch NASCAR.
Hey, look! In the IndyCar race, at one point, there were only 4 cars on the lead lap. I mean, look, it got exciting at the end, but there were parts where it was getting boring sometimes.
Hey, but Jimmy got a top 5.
Yeah,
Jimmy showed signs of life.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson got a top 5, y'all, and the leader ended up wrecking too. And hopefully, New Gardens, he's fine.
Yeah, that was scary.
Injuries,
Kyle Larson threw his hat in the ring to replace him.
Yeah.
I saw that.
If that happens, I might just drive up just to see the Xfinity
you
race and then drive down, or the IndyCar race and then drive down.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't blame you if it does.
It's 2022. Anything could happen.
Yep, that is true.
PTM Billy said, bad butthurt Kyle Busch fan, total BS call. Since when was removing the wrap been part of the process? Always.
I didn't know we had a NASCAR officiating expert in the chat. Wow, or in the comments. Wow.
Hey, rules are rules, bro. Hey, look, every team cheats, but they got caught, bro. Accept it. Sorry. Accept it.
Danny Edelman says, awful NASCAR fixed this race. Baldly. Good guy. I'm the one that everyone accuses of hating Chase Elliott, and I don't think it's fixed. Come on, people.
Guys, look, I mean, I know we meme Chase Elliott and stuff, but NASCAR didn't fix it for him, okay?
We know. So
the
two ongoing Facebook conspiracies are that NASCAR, Chase Elliott's the golden boy, and 2, that they'll do whatever it is for them cheating Toyoters. It's those 2. So it was head to head. Which one is truly on top? Apparently Chase Elliott's on top because they decided the cheating Toyotas, their time had run out. So there you go. Facebook, good Facebook banter.
My favorite parts too is just dude, now that Chase Elliott's won this way, it's just my old meme that I started, the Mickey Mouse memes, just come out of the woodworks again. Even Carson Hocevar got in on it too.
Yeah,
that was. I mean, Bubba Wallace even brought it up.
Yeah. So it's definitely
wait, what did Bubba say?
Oh, at Bristol,
he brought it
remember?
up. Yeah, he brought it up at Bristol.
Yeah.
And then lowest comment on here is from Kyle 3000. It's an edited one again. There's a lot of edited comments in here today.
Receipts.
Denny delivered at Pocono. Yawn. Edit. The delivery was seized by customs.
Wait, that's was that the first comment or was that one downvoted?
That was the last comment, most downvoted comment.
Why? That's funny. Why do people downvote that? Come on, y'all.
Everyone loses their sense of humor when Chase wins, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at all these. I'm looking at the response and what the person that responded says. So now that Chase won, is it a good race? And he goes both yes and no. I found the lack of passing in the front to be a drag, but the drama helps. So
actual commentary.
They got into a war over Chase Elliott winning for no reason.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
But we had some insightful comments though this week, though. I like that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for voting on the poll. We'll have that up after the Indy Road Course race this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for voting on the famous iceberg poll. And now moving on to another race, the Xfinity Series race. Noah Gragson comes in clutch. Him and Ty Gibbs had a very exciting yet very clean battle. I was very surprised by that, just knowing some, these two drivers' history. They'll put the bumper to you every now and then if needed. But no, there was some respect there, and it was fair racing. Eric, what'd you think?
Oh, no, I was very impressed, surprised. I gained a lot of respect for both, especially for Ty Gibbs. He had a number of options to just run Gragson up wide, maybe make a little contact, test Gregson's reflexes, see if he could catch the car in the tunnel turn. It would have been a very sketchy situation. I think Ty Gibbs knew that, and I think Ty was able to demonstrate some reservation, got up side by side with the 9 car a couple of times, but couldn't couldn't quite complete the pass. So I know Noah Gragson on the stat sheet gets the win, and that's really impressive for him. We had a great car, had a great run, had, of course, another epic celebration. But to me, I gained just as much respect for Ty Gibbs watching the way he raced the 9 car in those closing laps. He'd use up the tires, get to him, make a move, not wreck him. Then he'd have to save the tires, work his way back up there. And it was like I don't know, it was a really great back and forth for the final. I don't know what it was, 15, maybe 20 laps. I was kind of bouncing between Gregson and Gibbs's pit box those final laps, because I think they're only a couple stalls away from each other on pit road. And the two crews, the tension was serious. There was serious tension watching that thing close out. It was fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a good race.
Yeah, I think that right there, like, while you can argue if either one of them is cup ready in the sense of, like, just the conversations we had earlier, like, that right there showed that those two have the full potential to be Cup Series drivers, and damn good ones at that. The way, like, you don't see that very often in the Xfinity Series. Like, you usually see somebody get knocked out of the way, or one is just better and they're clearly better. But like, those two were, I think Ty was a little better, but the fact that Noah held him off, kept it completely clean. The entire battle was just through the air between the cars, and the way they manipulated the air against each other, it looked like they were 10-year Cup veterans out there racing at Pocono of all places. So mad respect to both of those guys.
When Noah Gragson, keeps his head on straight and stuff, he is one of the best prospects out there and stuff, and he proved it last weekend for sure. And I cannot wait for Ty Gibbs versus Noah Gragson in the Cup Series. Now, we saw a preview of that on Sunday, and that was for 30th at one point. But
they both were ahead of Cole Custer.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Now we'll talk
That's the
about.
whole.
Hey, well, we saved that for the picks portion of the show.
No,
we can beat up on him later.
Yeah, we're gonna save that a little later in the show. But yeah. Good finish. It was an awesome finish.
Yeah, but the other big thing was, dude, those like
the
two wrecks.
I was just about
Jeb
to say.
Burton had the highest of highs that race.
Yeah, you had 2 wrecks. Well, first, let's start off with the first one. Now, I unfortunately couldn't watch the broadcast. I mean, I was out with my little cousins were in town. My little cousin was in town to celebrate my birthday. It was my birthday yesterday, in case y'all didn't know. So, 25 years old. Happy birthday! Yeah. So, I didn't get to watch the whole Xfinity race, but I caught the end of it. But unfortunately, I saw the what was it? The incident on lap 2 or 3? Was it on
something
lap
like
2?
that?
Yeah, it basically in the very beginning of the race, racing hard, Rajah Caruth, who is, in my opinion, a potential prospect. I think he has time to definitely develop, but made his first major mistake in the big leagues. Unfortunately, takes out Alex Abey and himself. And LeBay obviously wasn't happy, and obviously, Rajah Caruth in those post race interviews was obviously very upset and embarrassed. Rookie mistake. What more can you say, right?
Yeah. It was obviously just a mistake. He was hard on himself, down on himself, as he should be. It was a glaring mistake, and it sucks for a couple reasons. One, Rajah's young. This is only his 3rd Xfinity start. So you want to complete as many laps as you can. You don't expect him to go out there and run top 10 or top 15 in that car, especially not with this much experience. You just want him to complete all the laps. And so to make a mistake like that, like you said, a rookie mistake on lap 3 and wreck your car and end your day early, that's the most disappointing part. But 2, Rajah has a spotlight on him, and it was put on him by the president of NASCAR himself, among others. And unfortunately, as a result, you just can't afford to make these kinds of mistakes and expect to avoid criticism. So he's going to face, he's gotten more praise than a lot of other drivers of his skill level, in my opinion. He's also gotten a lot more hate than drivers of his skill level, in my opinion. And that's
unwarranted hate.
Yeah,
usually unwarranted hate, but I'd also argue a lot of unwarranted praise at times. So unfortunately, he's under a really heavy spotlight. So mistakes like this are only more glaring.
I think going back to what you said, that we talked about this in our chat, that praise from Steve Phelps before he was even points leader in ARCA.
He hasn't even won an ARCA race yet. And I love Rajah. He's been on the show. I consider him a friend, or at least we have a good relationship, but he's been given a really great platform and has been given a lot of praise for not a lot of on-track results yet. I'm just going to be honest. Great
kid, promising driver, but I don't think it's where, when it just comes across it feels like there's a lot more attention on him for something else, that's not a good place to be at.
Well, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think going back to the Steve Phelps thing, it's like this. It goes to the point as a president or executive of the sport, stay out of what the media hype is for a driver. Like you can talk positive about them as a person, but don't there is no reason that any driver that is, not in the conversation in the Xfinity series for being a cup ready driver, there's no reason why anyone should be really hyping them up as the next superstar. There's the same thing with Haley Deegan. It's the same thing here with Raja. Let these young drivers develop naturally without any of the BS from people who shouldn't be given it.
It'd be like Roger Goodell endorsing Arch Manning, who just is going he's just going to college.
Yeah, exactly. It would exactly be that.
And also specifically, too, just hyping up drivers specifically in the diversity program. Like, I know what NASCAR is doing. Obviously, you want to show, mainstream media and, the entire country, like, hey, we do have diverse... we have diversity in the sport. They mean well, but it just come across...
I don't know what it feels like? It feels like that Steve Buscemi meme where it's like, hello, fellow children. It's just, that's what it feels like. They're trying to fit in with everyone else, and it's like you can't push that.
It doesn't come across. It just doesn't come across the right way to me. Just because, look, obviously they're gonna have a tough time, coming through the sport anyways, because there's gonna be a subsection of the fan base that are going to automatically hate them just for what they look like. Unfortunately, I mean, it sucks, but that's just the harsh reality of the situation. But it makes it worse when. You hype these guys up, you hype these drivers up to oblivion, and then when they either perform mediocre or they completely suck, then all of a sudden they get even more hate because some of these NASCAR higher ups and some of the in NASCAR's production team are hyping up these drivers that don't really need to be hyped up yet.
And hey, sometimes we might be just as guilty for hyping someone up too. Sometimes we get friendships, get the best of us at times. Sometimes we probably give a little praise to people we're friends with at times. Maybe we're just as guilty at times too.
See, for the most part, I feel like we try to stay as fair as possible. I mean,
it's different. So NASCAR's hyping up Raja Karuth because of the diversity. It's a marketing play. That's why they're doing it. And so that's great because obviously it's great to show off the diversity of the sport and to show off someone like Raja who's come up through the ranks and has shown promise, has shown potential, but. It's just anytime the president of NASCAR or someone in a position of authority, influence, power makes these kinds of strong claims about someone, that puts a spotlight on him. And unfortunately, as much potential I think there is within Raja, he's not ready for that spotlight yet. He's just not. So, we saw it this week on Pocono. He unfortunately made a bad mistake and got more hate than he would have otherwise because he's been hyped up by a lot of authoritative.
I think the best way to look at this is, no offense to Alpha Prime, because we know a lot of them there, they're good people, but you put any other driver in the Alpha Prime car, is Jeff Burton going to be talking to them before the race ever starts?
Oh,
that's a good point.
Did they talk to him before the race?
They did. He was the in-race reporter
before it ever even began.
Maybe.
That's a bit too much.
But still, that team, any other driver with Alpha Prime, are they going to do it the same?
No.
It's just you give a guy a spotlight, it can do great things. Like Bubba Wallace drives for Michael Jordan now, but it can also do bad things. Bubba Wallace also gets a ton of unwarranted hate from social media, from whomever. So it goes both ways. And I just hate to see that spotlight put on. What's Raja, 19 years old?
He's not 21. He's not 21.
We've known him since he was in high school. I just hate to see this kind of vitriol and this sort of polarization thrown his way. That's
Bubba's advantage when he was coming up. He was part of the top tier Toyota racing development. He come through. He started with KBM. He ran some Xfinity races for JGR. Then went into Roush, which at the time was still really good equipment for the most part. So he was with teams where it made sense to highlight him at that age. Right now, showcase Raja and Arca, because right now that's where he is staying consistently class of the field. And I want to see the best for him, but it comes across as though they're doing too much right now.
So we'll definitely come back to Raja sometime down the line. But then also the second wreck was Jeff Burton. He flipped, and Eric, you saw that in person. Look, the only flip I've seen in person, thankfully, is just one, and that was Ty Majeski during the 2020 Truck Series race at Daytona.
Dude,
Dang it.
Harrison Burton.
Oh, and Harrison Burton, that's right.
But that was so far away. You needed binoculars to see that.
He just missed it like Fox did.
Yeah. No, I saw the whole thing. That's right. Duh. That's right. Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about that. But Eric, what was that flip like in person though?
Yeah, so I actually snuck up into the grandstands, and I was closer to turn 1 than turn 3, so I saw the end of it just. I saw that part of it. And I was sitting there thinking, oh God, who is it? Like I couldn't tell who it was. And then like it got into my field of vision. I could see the 27 and I was like, Jeb. I felt really bad because I was talking to somebody before the race and we were kind of like morbidly joking about how Pocono is known for just really weird, just wonky, scary crashes, guys losing their brakes, whatever. And so it's like, who do you think in the Xfinity race day would be most likely to get caught up in some just wonky crash? And just joking around, I'm like, I feel like Jeb Burton just seems like the kind of guy who just finds himself in these unfortunate predicaments. Our Motorsports isn't around that great. I felt so bad when I saw him skid to a stop and I saw the 27 on the side. I felt so bad. I'm glad he's okay. He seems okay. Walked away from the crash. And credit to the safety team. I know they got some flack, probably a different safety team, but they got some flack at, I think it was Charlotte earlier this year for the Chris Buescher flip. Took him like 6 minutes to flip him right side up. It took him less than 4 minutes to flip Jeb Burton's car right side up. Granted, Xfinity car versus the next gen, maybe they're still figuring out where they're supposed to hook up the cables. I don't know, but no, the response time seemed really good, so I'm glad he was okay. But yeah, just another just scary, wacky Pocono wreck.
Yeah, and specifically this weekend at Pocono just had so many just scary and wacky wrecks too. I mean, like, Kurt Busch, you didn't expect him to get hurt in that, and then you really didn't expect all these other incidents to happen during the race. But yeah, overall it was a crazy race for the Xfinity Series standards. And the final race of the weekend, well, I mean, it happened, but do we really remember what happened? I mean, the truck race happened, but like, Eric, there nothing. Really
I was there and I
happened.
forgot what happened.
Yeah,
I mean, Chandler won.
Got set.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
It was the regular season finale. Yes. Chandler Smith, was this his second or third win of the year? I think it might just be his second.
Second, I think. Yeah, second.
But I think it sets a tone. I think he is low key one of the championship favorites in trucks. So I know there's nothing like Pocono on the schedule from here on out, but still, it sets a good tone going forward. He is confident. He's a very confident 18, 19-year-old, however old he is. Like,
as long as Corey Haim don't get in his way, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. So Truck Series playoffs are set. You know what? I'll give a bit of a bold prediction here right away. I think Carson Hocevar wins the championship, but he doesn't win a race. Ooh.
He's gonna pull a Matt Crafton, huh?
Yeah, he's gonna pull a Matt Crafton somehow.
Man's gonna get eliminated from the final four and win.
I don't.
Thanks, Darian.
I see him more as a Daniel Hemrick type, not really a Crafton type.
We'll see.
A little bump and run on the final corner.
Yeah, doing the championship. Yeah, we'll see.
Is he gonna do a backflip in a boot?
He'll get on the ground and roll around.
Say he makes it to the championship. What hat will Carson Hocevar bring to Phoenix?
That's a good question. Maybe we should get him on the show sometime.
Yeah, I saw NASCAR guys made a joke that he would just put the trophy on as a hat, and I could see him doing that.
I could see him custom fitting a hat that looks kind of like the Truck Series championship trophy, just like a total kind of cocky play to get in the competitors' heads, something like that. Yeah. I could see him rolling with that.
I could see that. But yeah, look, the Truck Series field is set, and some of you guys forgot that the regular season finale was even last weekend.
Peter in the chat brought up a good one. What about a cactus hat?
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
It's the theme.
Yeah. You like the flag stand?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it lights up too.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's not start planning his hat game until he's there, guys.
We'll see. Let's see if he makes the championship floor. But since I talked about him, he's not, right? According to some, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he can break the curse. But anyways, that'll do it for the weekend of racing events at Pocono. We are just a little over an hour into the show. Just over 700 people watching. Make sure to click the like button, everybody. Let's get into some really quick super chats for the next 3 minutes, and then we will move on. Can somebody set a timer for me?
Oh,
I got it. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. All right. I will begin reading them. Oh, gosh. We have so many tonight. Thank you guys so much. All right. I will read them in 3, 2, 1. Enter DOS. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I didn't know how to react to be surprised, disappointed, or furious on Sunday night. As a Toyota fan, this season is infuriating, and I've given up hope. KFB possibly leaving makes things even worse. Aww, I feel. Yeah, dang. Thank you for the $10, but yeah, now I low-key feel bad for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully it'll get better. I don't know. We'll see. And then Isaac with the $2 super chat. Jar Jar Binks would be an upgrade to Cole Custer.
Dang. Again, we saved this for the end of the show, but all right.
Dang. All right, man. And then Melon Smasher 1 with the $5 super chat. Guys, he's done. Or excuse me. Oh, no, I read that wrong. Okay. Guys, he's done it. He's found a way to jinx drivers after the race. Hashtag take Darian's phone away. Oh, I just tweeted a fact. Denny Hamlin was declared the winner. He won. And then, boom, hey, I didn't make him cheat. I didn't get caught, bro. He got caught. That's his own fault. Then Alex left with the $2 super chat. Happy belated birthday, Darian. Thank you so much. 25 years old, looking 19. That'll come into handy later on down the road when I'm way older. But thank you so much. Melon Smasher 1 with the $2 super chat. Mickey Mouse, oh yep, and then another $2 super chat. Chase Elliott's top 2 streak. Inspection gods. Oh yeah, the inspection gods wanted him to keep his top 2 streak going for sure. And then Nova Stone 12 with the $2 super chat. Will Kurt still race next year or Reddick replace? Hey, that's an interesting question. Hey, maybe,
we'll see.
You never know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Then Antrodas, another $2 super chat. Correction, first time the top 2 got DNQ'd since the 60s. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, interesting fact. And then Chips Never 957 with the $5 super chat. Hamlin, I'm gonna make headlines by forcing Chastain to wreck. NASCAR, yes, but no. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
that's you're half right.
Yeah, you're half right. Yeah, exactly. And then Fire 924 with the $2 super chat. As a Gordon/Chase Elliott fan, it is a win, Gordon, but Gordon is still number 1. No, that's how I feel about certain drivers too that aren't racing. That I feel some drivers who aren't racing are better than some that are currently racing. I feel you. Then Alex Kraft Racing with a $5 super chat. F1 driver Daniel Kvyat, a.k.a. the Torpedo, yep, will make his NASCAR Cup Series debut this weekend at Indy. Thoughts? We were that was going to be in the lightning round, I believe. But
how do you pronounce his name? Do we know? Kvyat.
Kvyat or Kvyat?
I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
God, we are so American. Good God.
Yeah, there's an F1 fan somewhere making fun of us, like those damn Americans. Stop watching F1, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then 5 Wide Sports. Oh, I love your channel so much, bro. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Chase Elliott wins a race and doesn't even lead a lap. He's built different. Hey, he is. Hey, he was right place at the right time. I know he's not going to take full credit for that victory, but hey, he didn't cheat. His team, or at least his team, didn't get caught cheating. So, hey, take the dub. Take the dub, man.
All right, that's 3 minutes,
All
by
right,
the way.
Yeah, right. Perfect ending. And that'll conclude this edition of the 3-minute lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. I will read the rest of y'all's super chats later on in the show.
I didn't see who it was in the chat. Someone suggested, called it the Super Chat Stage Break. We should be calling it for that from now on.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
There's Irvin Alvarado. He said Super Chat Stage Break. I like that.
Okay, Irvin Alvarado suggested that?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for that idea.
I'm writing that down right now.
Write it
that's
down.
a good
Okay,
name.
So it's official.
Yeah, he's literally writing it in our Google Doc as we speak.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. I can't believe we haven't thought about that.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. No, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. But before we move on to any other topics tonight, this edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast is brought to you by, well, if I can pull up the image. Where's the image? Why is it? Okay, there we go. Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Order the new 2022 diecast of your favorite NASCAR driver now at lionelracing.com or any authorized Lionel retailer.
I'm just laughing at Eric panicking because he forgot.
Oh, he forgot it? Eric, you're the main guy who's not supposed to forget. Oh, my goodness. Well, while he's getting his car, Danny, you start us off. That is a nice-looking Chase Elliott game.
Let's come on down to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, guys.
All right, but he legitimately won that championship.
Okay. Well, no, this isn't a championship. This is actually a 2015 Xfinity Series. He lost to Chris Buescher.
I thought that was 2014 for a second.
No, this is the 2015 Xfinity Series car. I got this autographed when they was opening up a Napa in Crossville, Tennessee, and Chase Elliott was there. So I had a day off from work when I was selling cars, and I went and got this signed by Chase Elliott there. Wow. And Eric, now that you're back, I was laughing at it because I realized you forgot one.
Yeah, I totally did. That's on me. That's my bad.
Eric, you want to go next? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually, someone sent this to me a while back, but it's a Matt Kenseth old Busch Series Bayer car. Bayer's the parent company of Alka-Seltzer.
Oh, damn, that is a fat diecast. It's one of those fat diecasts.
It's one of those
big tires, the big
Ford
bumpers.
Tauruses, yes.
It's one of those things.
But it was timely because I was at the track at Pocono with JD Motorsports doing some stuff with Alka-Seltzer, who's been a partner on my channel for a while. They had a pretty cool car this week. So last time they were in the sport, it was on a Matt Kenseth Busch Series car. This isn't that scheme, but this one's affiliated with it.
And then Jared?
Well, If I cannot knock the UFO down while I do it, I have Kevin Harvick's 2011 Budweiser car. You all know I'm a big Dale Jr. fan, but I got to say this one ranks for me right up there with the Dale Jr. diecast.
Very simple, but very beautiful with that black paint scheme.
Exactly. Simple cars, in my opinion, when done right, are the best possible paint schemes. Just this little bit of red trim here, red in the spoiler, and the splitter and spoiler.
The Budweiser on the side has like a red outline too, doesn't it?
Correct. It'll probably not come across on this as well. But yeah, I always like this one. I wish that they had not done it for just 1 year, and this had just been his paint scheme like the entire time he had Budweiser on it.
Got you. And this is
the one they eventually went to that looked like the can, though. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah,
it was good, but this is great.
And this is Dale Jr.'s 99 championship Busch Series scheme in the number 3 AC Delco Chevrolet. The reason I know it's from 1999 and not 1998 is because hold on. He wasn't considered a rookie in 98, was he?
No, because his actual rookie season, he was driving part-time in the 31.
Oh, but all right. Well, it does say this is from 1999 on the bottom of it. So it is from 99. One of his championship seasons, one of his 2 championship seasons in the NASCAR Busch Series. I've had this for quite a while, as you can tell. It's a little scuffled up in some areas, but for the most part, I think it's still pretty decent. And yeah, that'll do it for this edition of the Lionel or Diecast Racing segment on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Don't miss Lionel Racing's NASCAR Authentic Diecast at a Walmart near you.
And from what I saw today, go check your local Walmart because I've seen someone who got all 10 of the first wave of next-gen NASCAR Authentic. So they should be at your Walmart. Go to Walmart right after this show. They're open till midnight or sometimes 24 hours. Go.
Danny sounded like he didn't know it first. He's like, till midnight or somewhere. Go. Yes, get all 10 for sure. All right. And now we are at that point in the show where, it's been raining outside a little bit, but I could definitely tell that there was some of this on the night of my birthday. And it's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Jarrett, what do we have on tap for tonight?
Honestly, it's kind of funny you say that because we have a giant-ass storm coming towards us.
Oh, wait, do we?
Yeah, there's actually a lightning round coming probably in about an hour and a half.
Let's get the show in, please. No buffering, no nothing. Let's get the
we'll make it past the halfway point. It's official. Ty Dillon and Eric Jones both were docked 35 driver and owner points over the weekend, and each team and their crew chiefs, each team's crew chiefs were ejected from the track at Pocono. Most of the time, this would make the storyline, but what we got in the second half of the show, no. But on a good, more positive news on it, Eric Jones and Petty GMS are closing in on a multi-year extension, according to Adam Stern. So that's some good stuff there. Also some good stuff for NASCAR here. Kyle Larson won best driver at the ESPYs over Max Verstappen, Steve Charance, and Alex Palou.
Oh,
Mr.
dude,
getting sued.
F1 fans were so pissed.
Well, you know what? They can go and kick rocks. You know, Kyle Larson won like
Eric, you're muted.
4 days a week.
I'm just shocked an ESPN show gave the award to the non-F1 driver, which of course they have.
Well, they're trying to get those rights, man.
Yeah,
I guess.
They were even playing a freaking Dale Jr. commercial. Apparently.
Yeah, I was out to dinner yesterday. They had the Dale Jr. Sports Center commercial.
I don't know why are they flirting with NASCAR. Dance with the one who brought you.
Nah,
They've been with
they want the
Formula
rights.
One.
They want those rights.
They've screwed up before.
Yeah, they want the rights, bro.
Also, it was announced the potential sponsor that fell through for Kyle Busch was Oracle, according to NBC Sports.
One last note on the Kyle Larson thing. I love that the night he was winning the ESPYs, he was not at the ESPYs. He was winning a World of Outlaws race at the same time the ESPYs were going on.
Wait, did someone from Hendrick just claim it or something, or what happened?
I have no idea. They probably mailed it to him or something, or I don't know, maybe just a tweet.
I think with the Drivers Award, they don't really like announce it in person during the show. It's more
they're too busy trying to get a bunch of brownie points with everything that isn't sports. Austin Dillon will pilot Brandon Bilt's number 68 at Indy, meaning that TJ Majors will spot for Austin Dillon on Saturday and Brad Keselowski on Sunday.
Maybe he can finally figure out why they were pissed at each other a couple weeks ago.
What's going on, bro?
Former Pocono Raceway president and CEO, as well as current NASCAR exec, I think his name is like Igadalski, is leaving full-time motorsports after this weekend. He's been in the sport for 33 years. That's like that is a big deal.
That's a long career. That's a long career he had.
Let's roll through some truck news real quick. Zane Smith has nothing set in stone for 2023, and Matt Benedetto will return to Rackley War in 2023.
I'm just saying, Zane Smith, he almost got a cup ride.
Yep. Well, Denny Hamlin said that 2311 is going to hire its own pit crew members for next year, and that he's going to have full control on the personnel and training away from JGR. And this comes right off the heels of Bubba Wallace being announced to be in the 18 at the Indy Road Course for the Xfinity Series. Going back to Brandon Brown real quick, he's actually going to be stepping away from full-time driving. One of the reasons is to further remove his team from the Let's Go Brandon chant so that they can get more sponsorship with other drivers who might be more marketable.
That sucks. Yeah.
This one is sure not to piss anyone off, but mufflers are being tested in the second week of August for the Chicago Street Course and LA Coliseum. So
it could also come in handy in Nashville one day.
I mean, they could just race one of the other 4 F1 tracks. The Auto Club short track has been confirmed by a local photographer in Fontana. I think, Darian, you have a picture of what I'm talking about.
Wrong picture. Here. Now I have the picture up. There you go.
Which one?
The stands, the grandstand.
Yeah, the grandstands are getting taken out in Auto Club. 2023 is probably going to be the final race. It was actually confirmed that they are still the second race of the season based on what they sent out recently. So, yeah, if you want to see the 2 Mile Auto Club, 2023 looks like it's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Austin Hill is totally, maybe, kind of looking likely-ish to be announced on Tuesday, August 2nd, to be driving for RCR and Cup. Whether that's in 23 or 24, we'll find out later.
If you saw the shape of the image, you know it's him.
It's at least if they're either trying to pull the wool over eyes or something like that, or it's obviously him.
RCR thought they was doing something. Graphics design is my passion, y'all.
No. It's totally the most popular driver out there, Jesse Iwuji.
Yeah, Jesse Iwuji, and his silhouette matches up to Austin Hill's flawlessly. Yes.
The Camping World Truck Series will be no more after this year, as Camping World is out, but Craftsman is the leading candidate to replace, according to Adam Stern, meaning the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series might come back.
Return of the Craftsman Truck. What if they called the Craftsman Super Truck Series again?
Ooh, hey, I wouldn't mind that neither.
Hey, just as a longtime DeWalt homer, I just want to say Stanley DeWalt Tools, who also owns the Craftsman brand, they have been one of NASCAR's low-key most loyal partners for years.
It's not low-key. It's like they're one of.
But it is kind of low-key because people forget they're all affiliated with each other. But they've been around for a long time, multiple teams, series title sponsorship. I just want to give them their props.
So we've had Dillon Smith, aka Mamba, on the show before. He's going to be racing for Young's Motorsports and ARCA's Reese's 200 at IRP this weekend in the O2 car. So if you're going,
cool.
Yeah, and he's wearing a Kobe helmet, a Kobe Bryant tribute helmet. So that's pretty cool.
I want to give you all a reminder, as it's now currently in the works to be done again. The second running of the NWP 400 on iRacing will be ran on Tuesday night this year, August 23rd, night before the podcast, right before Daytona. And it will be run at Daytona with next-gen cars at 8 p.m. Eastern time on IDK Players channel. And
awesome.
There might be a member or two that are working with IDK on something who might be in the booth for a little bit on that one. Yeah. Just saying. So keep an eye out for that one. It's gonna be really fun. And then let's end us off with our friend here, Mr. Trending.
Yeah, Eric! Yay! Everyone give him an applause. Round of applause. Really.
What was your ranking on there? Number 23 on trending or something like that?
That was the highest I saw it. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. It feels good to be considered like a trusted member of the NASCAR YouTube space, that people click on my video expecting to get the correct news and information. But to me, that's all just NASCAR. This fact that someone got disqualified, first time in decades, the winner's been DQ'd. NASCAR is just trending across all social media. So Eric, I'm honored that it was my video that made the trending page, but I feel like it could have been anyone. But it was pretty cool.
The fans could have watched one of NASCAR videos, but nope, they instead chose to watch your videos.
Remember,
it must have been the hair. It must have been. I filmed it in the Airbnb. We had like a pool table. It was probably just that. They're like, wow, this guy must be living it up. He's got it's all fancy pants over there. He must know what he's talking about.
Well, I'm sure there was a lot.
Danny,
of
you should film in front of your pool table. Clearly, there's something to it.
Imagine though, like someone who's brand new to your channel, because there had been a lot of people who's brand new to your channel because of that, and they're like, what is this guy? He's just down in a basement or something. What's going on here?
I'm sad that was the one they watched because there was bad echo in there. The acoustics were all wrong, not up to my typical quality standards that I hold for myself.
Way to give him the impression you're a guy living in mom's basement or something.
I filmed that at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night after a long day at the track. I just walked like 2 miles. I was like, oh my God. So I probably looked a wreck as well. I haven't gone back and watched it. I'm afraid of what I looked like. I probably looked like a beast, but it was cool. It was cool that NASCAR was in the news. I wish it was for something cooler than a disqualification.
Yeah.
There's a ton of interest. I was on my flight home. I was watching like just Sports Center during the day, and all along the bottom ticker was talking all about NASCAR headlines, showing Elliott quotes, showing the latest from Hamlin, all that stuff. I was like, okay, it's making waves in the sports world. That's always cool.
Yeah.
But hey, look, it doesn't matter what you look like. You were on the freaking trending page. Hey, yeah, no, you can flex a little bit, bro. You've earned it. But yeah, so that'll do it for this edition of the Lightning Round. And once again, that'll do it for the Lightning Round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, back to the show.
Yeah, and the NASCAR Weekly Podcast is also sponsored by Forney Industries. Get it done with green. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and more. It's great for do-it-yourselfers all the way up to professional metal workers. Forney has everything you need for your next project. Shop all of Forney's top-of-the-line products on their website at forneyinc.com or check them out at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Look for their green Forney logo. You'll know you're in the right place. Appreciate them sponsoring the show. You got your logos right down here, so you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Appreciate that, Darian.
All right, so moving on now. Let's get back into into tonight's topic. So next on the famous itinerary, Kurt Busch out for Indy and Ty Gibbs is in. Now we talked about that earlier. Do we want to elaborate more on that, or
we can at least touch on it, perhaps? Yeah. I think we kind of said all we wanted to about safety and about Ty's potential. Like I said, this is great for him because there's no pressure. Nobody expects him to run well, filling in for Kurt Busch, practically wearing his fire suit. So,
but
top
weekend,
20.
He's going to have some practice and stuff this weekend, too.
That's true. There's a little more pressure, maybe, but there's still none. So, this is a great opportunity for Gibbs to get seat time. Do you guys think we can answer this question real quick? He finished, I guess, 16th at Pocono. Better or worse this weekend at Indy Road?
I'd say better.
Worse.
I say better. Having some practice will be good for him.
Yeah, and
worse, better.
We've seen him perform well.
And he's a pretty decent. He's pretty decent road course racer too.
He won his Xfinity Series debut, didn't he?
If Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger will wreck each other, Ty Gibbs will win.
Jarrett, why'd you say no? Why'd you say worse?
Yeah. I'm saying worse because I'd say with Pocono, you can probably think brand new, learning all this different stuff, yes, but at the same time probably has a lot of adrenaline, probably way different than anything else in the sense of just like amped up for it. Whereas with a road course, he's gonna have more time, yes, that's good, but at the same time all of these Cup guys are amazing road course drivers. Cole Custer went down there and cleaned up shop and was like one of the top 3 guys at Road America, right? And we're talking about him being like a 25th place guy in Cup. And he was comparable to what Ty Gibbs was with the best car out there. I think that a top 20 is something he should be going for sure. I think that would be a good goal if he wants a position goal. But you have about 20 to 25 of these guys out there, plus ringers like AJ Allmendinger, who are probably better road course drivers than Ty Gibbs out there. I think he'll be between 20th, 25th all day. And if he can make it up higher than that, it'll be because of road course shenanigans.
Road course shenanigans.
But most importantly, no pressure. Again, he's just there to fill in. So I don't know. Nobody's really going to be expecting him to win. At least I hope not. I hope not. Unfortunately, some of these odds makers last weekend were expecting him to just run up front instantly. But we'll see how he does for sure. All right, so now moving on. NASCAR going full electric, perhaps, or going electric, according to Kicking the Tires. An exhibition is supposed to be taking place before the Clash race, and also a 6-race exhibition in 2023, sometime in 2023, and then run in 2024 as well. And then there's also decisions to be made for implementation in 2025, possibly maybe in the Xfinity Series. So, Jared, I'll start off with you. So what are your thoughts on this? I mean, it seems like the future is now when it comes to moving to electric.
I mean, I know they want to keep up with the industry and all, but it's like, really, when has NASCAR race cars ever been anything like the industry in the last 30 years? Like, yeah, they look like them, but that's about it. I really don't care much for electric either way. They'll have it under the veil of going green, but there's no real difference for the most part to me.
I don't think NASCAR, they'll probably promote that a little bit. I think it's more Chevy, Ford, Toyota, and literally every other car manufacturer in the world right now is promoting going green and going electric. So I think if NASCAR wants to continue getting that important money from OEMs, they have to embrace electrification to some extent. It's literally just for survival. Like, this isn't a case where NASCAR is like, oh, we hate V8 engines. This is literally, if we want to continue to be a major series that has funding to operate the way we have for years, they have to adapt. So I don't have a problem with this. I think this is cool. They're basically going to just demonstrate. I don't think they're doing even a race or anything before the Clash. They're just going to show off some electric vehicles. We have no idea what they're going to look like. Are they going to look like a sedan? Are they going to look like something maybe like an SUV?
They said they're going to, I think they said they're going to be in a cup
It'll
body.
have pretty much a cup body.
Yeah.
Okay, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll be curious to see how they look, because I'm sure they'll look a little bit different. But I think it's cool. Just a demonstration. You'll see them do a few exhibition races next year. It sounds like from the leaked documents they'll do little short, like almost 30-minute sprints. The question is really 2025. Does this in any way, shape, or form become an existing series like the Xfinity Series or the Arca Menard Series? I know they NASCAR trademarked the ASA name a while back, and a bunch of other similar names.
I was going to
revamp
say
ASA.
I think this could almost be a revamped, but at a higher level Goodies Dash type series, something like that. Even
it may become its own thing. They just brand it whatever they want to brand it, and
I will
it
say
goes from there.
Whatever it is, though, just because, I mean, let's be real, we can understand the interests of NASCAR fans and racing fans in general. We kind of see what Formula E looks like in comparison to everything else that they have. Like, this will not be a popular series. It's not a popular thing for NASCAR fans, especially.
Really quick, my biggest concern with this whole electric move, obviously they want to help the environment and stuff. I get all that or whatever, but what are these cars going to sound like? Because I want to hear engine sounds, not a freaking whine. I don't want to hear a whine, bro.
I'll be real. Screw the environment. I want to hear my damn roar.
Like, I mean, even like I was in a whatchamacallit, a Michael Root stream last weekend, and he was talking about NASCAR possibly moving to full electric, and even he was like, yeah, like if they move to full electric, like, isn't that just going to take away the sound of the engine and stuff? So,
NASCAR has said they're looking into different ways to try and have that sound with it.
Because I feel like that's most important. That's very important for especially NASCAR fans.
I don't think it's going to sound like a beehive. That, I'll just say that now. I think NASCAR is going to try and find a way to make it louder.
Hot take.
You mean it's not going to sound like Weight Eaters?
I love the throaty, deep, loud, deafening sounds of the current cars, but I actually wonder if this series actually races, if we actually get to the point where there are thousands of fans watching an all-electric NASCAR series, I have a feeling more people than we realize are going to appreciate having the ability to have a conversation while cars are racing in front of them.
Well,
You know
I
what
think
I'm
it'll be
saying?
that new fan they're chasing after. It's
Yeah.
the fan that's
At some
in the
point,
city.
the old fans will all be dead. That's just the morbid truth. So at some point, it will just be the new.
I don't think
vehicles.
it's all old fans that like the throaty sound, though.
I agree.
Yourself said you like it.
But I'm saying, I think there will be a section of the fan base that will actually kind of realize, shoot, I kind of like being able to talk over green flag racing. Not saying it'll be a wild. I'm not even saying it'll be the majority, but I think there will be those people. I'd say that because I've already seen comments on Twitter and in my YouTube section.
Should I put a poll really quick?
No, because it's not going to be something anyone's going to admit until they see it for themselves.
Okay.
I don't think until you're sitting in the stands watching an electric race, you're going to understand where you fall on that spectrum. So that's all. That's my only hypothesis. I hypothesize that there will be a larger section of the fan base that's actually okay with quieter engine sound.
Really?
I think it'll take a long time to get used to. I know it'll take a long time for me to get used to. But
I don't know where the teams would necessarily come from. I don't know if this would be like a cars made by NASCAR kind of deal. But whatever happens, I think this could be a cool chance if it's a series. you could have some drivers who have maybe lost their shot at the top level of the cup, maybe like a Matt DiBenedetto or something like that.
Yeah,
they could become a star of a series like this. Matt DiBenedetto could become a 7-time champion of the electric series.
It could be a new series to help revive careers that could potentially be dead.
That's my thing. Assuming this is a companion series that isn't that's not going to take place at the Cup Series, certainly not anytime soon. But assuming this is just a companion series, I don't see what's the harm in additional on-track content that maybe gives additional manufacturers a reason to stay invested in the sport. And like you guys just said, I'll be really curious to see what kind of drivers they recruit for this thing. Like, will it be existing Cup drivers, or will it be kind of, those drivers that, like you said, need to kind of rejuvenate their career?
But my idea is like, so you see Formula One, they make their own kind of fuel too, with those cars. They have manufacturers that look nothing like a Formula One car. What is exactly, long term? Yes, you can have your own series, but if this is a goal long term for Cup or Xfinity or trucks, even, like, there's so many reasonings in racing, especially like that, where it's like you don't need to get rid of having an internal combustion engine for an electric engine. Like that's where I kind of sit with it, because I think that there was always, especially in American culture, going to be that audience that wants to have like that loud sounding, like just kick you in the face. That's American sport that NASCAR has built itself on. That is NASCAR culture. And it's like, we can keep talking about trying to appeal to all these new fans as much as we want, but how much do you have to completely change yourself to go towards a contingent of fans that necessarily doesn't want you?
So
my one point on that is, I don't think NASCAR is going electric because they think fans want it. I don't think they're doing that. I think they're doing it because literally Ford, Chevy, and Toyota will stop supporting all of the series if they don't start to adapt to hybrid and electric engines.
And what I'm saying is that if those other manufacturers all over the world can do something different like that, why can't those or other manufacturers come in, for instance, who are more open to being something that NASCAR would be traditionally NASCAR?
Well, is there a manufacturer out there that's like, oh, hell no, we're never going to go electric? Like, I don't think there's a manufacturer out there right now. Like, even Dodge is dropping the Charger and Challenger in favor of electric vehicle production. So it's like, I just don't know if that exists.
I'll say straight up, I have a bias against electric. Can't stand it. Like, well, I hate electric.
I prefer obviously the feel and the sound of V8s. I absolutely prefer as well. I'm looking at this from like a business perspective, and I think NASCAR's hands are tied. I know fans like you, Jared, are going to say this sucks, this is the worst, but I just think it's something that we're going to have to get used to the idea of. I think it's inevitable, unfortunately. And if that causes stock car racing to plummet in the US in 10 to 20 years, so be it. That just may be the natural course of action. But
the idea,
I think if we brace ourselves ahead of time, maybe that's why I'm hypothesizing fans may appreciate being able to talk during races. That may be one thing that people thought they would not enjoy, or they'd be like, yeah, I missed the loud noises, and they probably still will. But that might be a silver lining that they're like, well, shoot, beforehand I couldn't talk during the Bristol night race. Now I can. I can actually hey, did you see that move right there? That was a pretty good pass, right? Well, look, you just wrecked. Did you see that? I don't know.
I will add though that just the idea of the having in all of these electric races and stuff, I'm very intrigued by it though. I do want to see one of these in person if I can.
I'm fine seeing one. Make it ARCA. Make it ARCA. Yeah. Seriously, there is nothing I don't care how much people are going to get mad at me about it.
ARCA's a wasteland, basically.
No, it's not that. It's that ARCA. People are like, oh, the Xfinity series has no identity. It's like, and ARCA does. Yeah. ARCA has one.
Would it be cheaper?
The Reese's sweet move of the
ARCA
race.
teams to run those?
Say it again, Danny. Say it again.
Would it be cheaper for ARCA to run those?
Maybe long term.
Long term, not initially.
Not now.
But I mean, maybe that's a way to incentivize teams that are bigger in Cup, Xfinity trucks to run some kind of ARCA program, to have another level of a stepping stone way to get up to the Cup Series. Like what ARCA is doing right now, in my opinion, it's like having 12 cars out there that are any good, and then a bunch of guys out there who are moving chicanes. Like it's not only boring, but it's just like, what is the point in all that? We talked about, there was a big debate about that last year. You were in the middle of that one, Eric. It's like, what's the point of that? Why not try and make that your manufacturer pleasing series at the moment, rather than Xfinity, like a lot of people are saying it could be?
Let's rename ARCA from ARCA to ERA. the Electric Racers Association.
Era.
Otherwise,
It's a new era.
Otherwise, what was the point of? I like that tagline, Danny.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what was the point of NASCAR buying ARCA a few years back? Like
Yeah.
now's your chance. Use it, like you said, as your manufacturer playground. Maybe that's
Well, I keep thinking back. I equate this to the Goodies Dash series. That's where we first saw Toyota enter the world of NASCAR, was with that series. So likewise, we could see Honda, Hyundai, even someone like that to decide to come in and say, "Hey, we want to be part of this electric series."
Yeah.
And I just wonder too, are you going to be able to have an electric car that's able to run the distance of a NASCAR Cup Series race? Like,
And that's what the test is going to have to be.
yeah, that like they're talking about probably every 30 minutes and then having non-competitive pit stops. I don't know if they said whether or not it was like they don't charge on those or they do, but my question is, I don't think you can have an electric race car run the Daytona 500.
And maybe, this is why it'll have to forever be its own series. I like that. Use the name Dash Series because these might have to be Dash races. So
yeah, and that's how I think that's a way. Well, it might be a way that you can actually on a larger level, because that like mainstream publications will pick this up. That might be a way that you can test on a mainstream way.
The Electric Dash Series, that's got a good ring to it.
Electric Dash
For
or
the
like
races.
or the Era series like you just came up with, Danny. I like
Yeah.
those. Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. Still a bit of a ways away, but hey, future is now. They're trying to get.
We'll see
some time
one in
together.
6 months.
Yeah.
We'll see one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And a prototype.
It kind of figures it'd be in California.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but like Jared's been saying, like we've had so many news stories that I mean that's a big story, but like it doesn't feel big.
It's been buried.
Yeah, I feel like it's been buried, and one of those stories that it's been buried by is the potential of Kyle Busch to Stuart Haas Racing, according to Door Bumper Clear. Kyle Busch to the 41 is a potential possibility. The 41 is already fully funded by Gene Haas. Gene Haas was at Pocono. Almost never is at the track, too.
At least that was the rumor. We didn't see him, but what Freddie Kraft and Door Bumper Clear, they were talking about Gene Haas potentially being at Pocono from what they heard, something that's rare. And they mentioned the 41. That was the first time I'd heard like any sort of industry insider mention the 41 as a legit possibility. We all assume Cole Custer's.
The question is, will they pay Kyle Busch $25 million to come drive?
Well, not all that goes to Kyle Busch. That doesn't all go to Kyle Busch, but yeah.
Well, so if it is a fully funded car, that would definitely take away from the financial hurt that SHR would feel having to field Kyle Busch out there. Darian, if you could, I want to see what people think now, because like the attitude towards where Kyle Busch is going has shifted. Yeah, and I really want to see where our chat's gone in just a week.
What poll? What poll?
But ask him where they think he's going to go.
Okay,
SHR, HMS, JGR, or other.
Because
Dale Jr. threw out HMS, and if there's anyone who's going to know what Rick Hendrick's thinking,
are they buying out Bowman a year early? Like that'd be the only.
I don't know, but
he's not. He doesn't make sense for Ally. I don't see Busch and Ally being.
But if he's gonna bring that up, he's not gonna bring it up just willy nilly. Like that dude knows Rick Hendrick. I'd say it's better than just about anyone but Jeff Gordon or Chad Knaus out there.
I feel like Ally is invested in Alex Bowman, but at the same time, I also feel like they'll let him ride out his contract for 2023 before they make that decision.
Yeah, I don't think they'll buy him out, but they could. You're right, Dale Jr. making that point. But I agree with you, Jarrett, that there does seem to have been a shift just in the past week, even not just among fans, but among just the industry, trademark, just the entire sport. That up until this point, everyone said, Kyle Busch, he'll probably stay with Joe Gibbs Racing. Like, they got all year to figure it out. He'll probably stay. And I know it doesn't look great, but in the last few days, I mentioned in my episode today, Jordan Bianchi on The Athletic said that he doesn't think Kyle Busch returns to JGR, and he's obviously very tuned in. He's talked to people. He's very well respected and a veteran reporter in the industry. Now you have Freddie Kraft bringing up the 41 as a possibility. On that same podcast episode, Brett Griffin was talking about how major sponsorship deals take close to a year to put together. So we're now only about 7 months from the start of the next season. It's going to be tough to put together a major sponsorship package at JGR.
And what's kind of cool, when you look at just points in time thinking about it, is like, I remember at Gateway and at Nashville, like anyone you talk to, it's like, oh yeah, he's definitely going to be at JGR. He's definitely going to, and it's like that Nashville race was only a month ago. Like in a span of a month, the entire narrative has been flipped on its head. And I think a lot of it had to do with the way that Kyle Busch treated Joe Gibbs when he walked over to him after the race. That one little 20-second shot has influenced so many people into their thinking of Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs.
Is it that shot really?
Because the internet will read into anything. They will read into anything.
But he was talking to the media at that point.
No, he wasn't. He was talking to his Joe Gibbs
PR
Joe
guy.
Gibbs.
I thought the PR guy was just there because the media was talking to him.
I think it was just his like crew or somebody. Yeah, it was a PR guy. Someone in a polo shirt.
I mean, it's interesting.
By the way, most of the chat they're saying like SHR is the lane.
That's
so
crazy,
they're great.
Last week they thought JGR.
It's
literally changed.
So also likewise, I brought this up in my video yesterday. You know, we were in a situation where everyone was talking about, oh, they're definitely getting L3. The playoffs are over. The fact that they were in that situation has to make me think, does Kyle Busch feel like he can even trust JGR at this point?
I don't know.
It doesn't help.
My thing. So here's my thing about Kyle Busch. It sounds like maybe things are leaning towards SHR or someone else. We don't even know if SHR is interested. We just assume because Gene Haas is rich that he could afford to put him in that 41 car and drop Cole Custer down to Xfinity or something. But we don't know that. We don't know if that's a legit option. But the way I see it, all year long, we've kind of talked about it as if Kyle Busch has no agency, as if he's just dependent on whatever JGR can throw together. If they can find a sponsor, he'll stay. If not, he's going to have to walk. He has no control. And I don't think that's true. I think Kyle Busch actually does have at least a decent amount of control
he
here.
He has more control than he's letting on.
I think Kyle Busch needs to come to grips with reality. Okay. I think he needs to look around and acknowledge he is not a top 5 driver statistically in NASCAR right now. He has to look around and understand that there's a young, much cheaper driver named Ty Gibbs tearing it up in the lower ranks. He needs to understand that Martin Truex Jr. just signed a 1-year extension with Gibbs, so that removes even more of his leverage. Kyle Busch has less leverage now than he did at the beginning of 2022 when these negotiations began. So I think he just needs to accept that he is not a max contract driver. He needs to accept that he's going to has to take a pay cut like Brad Keselowski did a couple of years ago, stay with an organization that you can contend for a championship in. He's chasing Dale Earnhardt for 8th on the all-time wins list. I know he wants to get to Dale Earnhardt. If he goes to Stewart Haas Racing, he will not get to Dale Earnhardt.
Okay, I'll bring up a point here. When Kyle Busch went over to Joe Gibbs Racing, a lot of people thought it was one of the dumbest moves that anyone could make with their career. They thought that it was a huge step down.
Especially after what JJ Yaley did in that car.
Yeah. That and Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart ran worse than they had the year before, and both went winless in 2008.
And it was their first year with
I count it winless for Stewart.
And 2008 was the team's first year with Toyota, correct?
That Toyota was new, yeah.
But Kyle Busch went out there, won 8 races. Now, I don't think Kyle Busch is like, 23-year-old Kyle Busch. I don't think he's that. But I'm not going to write him off in the 41 because, like, what driver have we seen in that 41 car since his brother that has been
a Busch
year as good?
But the last time even Kurt, was relevant,
even Kurt was winning 1 race a year in that car.
I think Kyle Busch is head and shoulders above.
He's better. But if he can't win more than 1 or 2 races a year in a JGR car, I just don't think Kyle Busch at this day and age will win more than a race a year in the 41.
Kyle Busch didn't win more than 1 or 2 races a year in a Hendrick Motorsports car, and they were the best cars in the field when he drove for him.
So that's I mean, I don't. Obviously, he could. I don't think I think if he goes to SHR, I think if he goes to SHR, he'll win a race or 2 a year. He's not going to catch Dale Earnhardt. That's my bold prediction tonight.
I don't think he's going to catch Dale Earnhardt in general, whether he stays there or not. Like.
Just because he's at that point in his career.
Can we agree at least that JGR gives him a better chance than SHR?
Oh, I agree with that, but the fact that I think Kyle Busch is burning a bridge right now.
And I'm saying he doesn't have to. I'm saying he has that choice. We've all pretended that he doesn't have a choice.
Kyle Busch. But
I think he's got to put his ego to the side. I think he just has to accept reality.
He's not going to put his ego to the side.
But he could. I know he's not.
It's the logical thing, but yeah. Emotions are not logical.
I agree with you.
Friendships don't pay the bills.
Well, I want to throw one out here. It's not an upgrade. I don't think anything but Hendrick Motorsports be an upgrade, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I'm going to throw one out that might be an option because the car, is running full time this year, is fully funded, is pretty competitive for what it's been given when there are capable drivers in it. What about colleague? They're trying to build up. They're trying to build their team up, similar to the way 2311 is, going full time with one driver, having full time sponsorship right there. The only difference is they can't pay. If Joe Gibbs Racing's not going to pay him, no one is.
No, yeah.
Like
That,
No,
that-
well, Gene
that-
Haas would probably be the
they're-
closest, but yeah.
they're not going to afford Kyle Busch.
But if it gets late enough in the season, I mean, Kyle Busch was damn near about to go with Bobby Ginn in 2007.
I could only see him going to Kaulig if like the other options run out. That's it.
But it could,
Yeah.
because Kyle Busch is the type of driver who will be that very egotistical driver.
No,
It's the thing about Kyle Busch is that when he's winning and he has that attitude, it's the greatest damn thing, because it's that F you, I can do whatever I want attitude. But when you're not winning, it's just obnoxious.
And also that attitude doesn't work well in business ventures neither. It doesn't either.
I mean, he's a damn good driver. I think. But you know what? Like we've said, he doesn't have the stock he had in 2019 going into 2020. Like his stock has fallen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the few drivers left from that era of high paid drivers. Like, you could probably think like on the palm of your hand of how many drivers are from that same era. Kurt, Kyle, Kevin Harvick. Do we count Joey Logano maybe? Because I mean, the sport was pretty
Hamlin.
damn
We could definitely
popular.
say Hamlin.
It's like maybe 5, maybe 6 drivers if you want to add anyone else in here or there. But it's like in a lot of ways, he's kind of like a dinosaur in this aspect.
Yeah, I just think he doesn't have to take half the money he would otherwise get, but a 30% pay cut. I think they could find a deal to make that work at Toyota. And you don't have to sign a 4-year deal. Do what Keselowski did. Sign a 1-year deal. Punt this down the line a few more months, gives you an extra safety net to find a sponsor. They were close with Oracle. That tells me that there is someone out there they could land. They could find someone to spend the money, pay close to what they want a major sponsor to pay. Just give yourself a little more time. It's a 1-year commitment. Busch isn't 43 or this is his last year. No, he could easily race at a high level for 5 or 6 more years. So 1 year, I don't think would kill him. That's my thing. But I'm with you. I don't think Kyle Busch is thinking this way. I'm just saying he probably should, at least from a fan's perspective, because I want to see Kyle Busch in the best possible car. Because while he may not be top 3 or 4 right now, he's still a very good championship contending driver. I want to see him in a top car, and I just think the 41 is a significant downgrade from the 18. That maybe I'm wrong, but I think I picked that right now.
I think any team is a downgrade from JGR except the Hendrick 4.
Jeremy Kilgore in our chat brings up a good point. Whoever he goes with, and the manufacturer especially, they get a good truck program where
I didn't even think about that.
That's gonna come with them.
But looking back, I mean, yes, we're talking about Kyle Busch to the 41 and stuff, but remember, we were talking about Cole Custer a while back, and we all assumed he has family within the team, so that ride is set. I mean, it doesn't seem like it at this point. I mean, it just goes to show that hey, Storehouse Racing, I mean, they're about winning, and maybe RCR can take some notes on that.
I mean, again, there's it's not been substantiated in any way, but I know rumors point to Cole Custer maybe going down for another year in Xfinity.
And that would be good. That would be great for him. That would be great.
He needs a reset because I have to think his confidence is shattered in Cup, and that would offer him the opportunity to.
He's been very good in Xfinity this year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's shown that he can race well. So maybe he goes down for a year. Eric Almirola comes back. Everyone's assuming Eric Almirola is coming back. So if that is the case, goes down for a year, then comes up. Maybe if Eric Almirola does retire, does Kyle Busch get the 10 with the Smithfield sponsorship? Because everyone's like, oh yeah, he's only retiring because they're leaving. It's like, well, maybe they're leaving because they don't have a driver. And
I think Smithfield's the one trying to get him to get Almirola to come back. So I don't know that Smithfield would stay with Kyle Busch, but maybe
crazy.
That's the oddest obsession a sponsor has to the driver.
It might be
weird to me.
It might be slightly different. It might be more SHR is begging Almirola to come back because they know Smithfield is stuck to him. So
I've never Eric Almirola is a good driver and seems like a great person. I just have never got Smithfield being like, we're a worldwide company. Who should our driver be?
Eric Almirola, one of the most mediocre drivers. One of the nicest too.
What I find funny is that in that show, The Crew that they had on Netflix, they use Smithfield for some reason to be like, we're really trying to pursue to get Smithfield from SHR.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wait, was that an actual plot line in the show? They're trying
It was.
There was a lot of ad placement. There was a lot of ad placement in the show. Let's just put it that way.
It was bad.
It only lasted one season.
It was bad.
That's all I have to say. But yeah, look, hey, I closed the poll a little while ago. 54% think Kyle Busch to Storehouse Racing is happening. I'm like, dang. Because last week it was totally not that.
I love seeing the passive aggressive like sponsors. People are like, oh, what about Pampers? The passive aggressiveness is just beautiful.
I mean, hey, he's got a baby.
Yeah, true.
2 now.
But he also cries a lot too, so maybe they're also preferring. You're also saying that too, but yeah, hey, we'll see where Kyle Busch ends up. But hey, Storehouse Racing is a potential. It's a possibility. And one last topic before we get into this weekend's preview. By the way, it still says Pocono preview in the thing. By the way, so I just thought that was funny. But Michael McDowell, thanks, Jared. Michael McDowell, he ended up getting a penalty amidst all of these drivers getting DQ'd and stuff. You would think Joe Gibbs Racing was gonna get penalized. Well, they end up not getting penalized, just DQ'd from the race or whatever. But then out of nowhere, Michael McDowell, aka Jared's new favorite driver, unfortunately gets docked 100 drivers and owners points, docked 10 playoff points, and his crew chief Blake Harris is suspended 4 races and fined $100,000. But they are appealing, and I saw somewhere earlier today where it says he is going to crew chief him this weekend.
Yeah, they pushed that back at least a week.
Yeah.
That's good that he can go into a track he's got a good shot at.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's very.
You almost wonder if they may know they're going to lose the appeal, but they said, "Hey, we want our crew chief for Indy."
No, we need him for this road course. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah.
And for a moment, I thought we were racing at Watkins Glen for a moment. I almost said the Glen, but I don't know. I just outed myself. I just thought that was funny.
We'll be there before you know it.
Yeah, but Jared, he was moving in the right direction. It seemed for a moment, but what happened here? Took a bunch of steps back, man.
He's still in the top 30, so the Michael McDowell train has not been killed, but it's definitely derailed.
Yeah, it's a bit derailed, so we got to get it back on track, Jared. We got to get.
It's a grand conspiracy.
Oh no,
no. It sucks. I mean, it sucks. Not all bias aside, it sucks just because it's such a cool story to see a relatively underdog team do this well, and then for this to happen. Apparently, it was not as bad of a penalty as Denny Hamlin got, according to Denny Hamlin, which I found odd.
Yeah.
I definitely disagree with that.
I disagree, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Denny needs to find some air to punch. But I don't think it's over for him. Again, I don't think we're getting, more than 16 winners. So if he's a good super speedway driver, he can still win Daytona. He can still win this weekend with his crew chief at Indy. Without his crew chief, I don't see him doing well in the other races just because, usually an interim crew chief does not bring that same kind of connection.
Also, I just realized too, there's only 5 races left in the regular season. So if he does crew chief this race and then gets suspended, then he's done for the regular season. That's it.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it'll matter that much at Daytona.
It'll matter at the road course.
Yeah, Watkins Glen, especially. Yes.
Watkins Glen. Then they got Richmond and Michigan.
Which was a strategy race earlier this year. So
exactly.
So I see for McDowell, you have 2 shots left now. You have this weekend, which he did finish 3rd at Sonoma, and then you have Daytona, which he won the 500 last year. But overall, it was a long shot for him to make it in anyways. Now it's just even longer, and if there's more than 16 winners, he's more than likely the one on the chopping block unless Kurt Busch doesn't come back. That's the only way I can see him, making it if there's more than 16 winners and he's one of them. So
long summarize it good.
We'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. Hey, he's still inside the top 30. So hey, he's still technically
ahead of Brad Keselowski.
Within striking distance.
Yeah, still within striking distance. All he needs is that win. Could happen.
And
I
think he can make up some. I think he can make up some spots and points too. I don't think he's going to sit 26th in points. He'll probably make it up to 24th or 23rd in the next couple of weeks. But
my only curiosity, because they only check 4 or 5 cars at the R&D center every single week. My only concern, this has been a career year for Michael McDowell, 8 top 10s, best average finish of his career. You wonder, have they been doing this all season long? Have the results only been because they've been, filling the body panel sealers, all that stuff all year long? I hope not. I hope they've genuinely been just really fast, because this feels like kind of an old school penalty for them to be caught doing. This feels like something you'd hear the people doing in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So kind of old school, but I don't know. He's had a great year. I don't want to see this take away from that. So I'm going to choose to ignore it for the time being and hope he comes back and runs really well at Indy this week. I hope he goes out and just runs top 10 this week. Yeah. That'd be great.
If he won at Indy, I'd immediately pre-order the race win diecast.
Of course.
Is he in the Loves car this week? I want to get a Loves diecast just because it's a good looking
especially
car.
the next gen Loves car. I love
it. Does look good. Yeah. It does look good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we are fast approaching 2 hours into the show, and now we are approaching the Indy preview for this weekend. So as for the truck race name, it is the CRC
Brackleen.
Oh, Brackleen. Okay, the CRC Brackleen 150, a total of 200 laps. The truck series is racing at IRP, just so y'all know, not the road course. Yes,
next door.
Yes, so next door. It's great to see that track again. The start time for that race is 9 p.m. Eastern time on FS1/MRN. The weather for that for Friday's race. 80 degrees, partly sunny, 8% chance of rain. Defending winner is Timothy Peters from 2011. I remember watching the final race. But hey, fun fact from that race: Ross Chastain scored his first career Truck Series top 10 in the final IRP race, and he got an interview. So
that is a fun fact.
I remember watching that. I'm like, who is this guy? Then, little did I know he would be in the Cup Series pissing off Denny Hamlin. Who would have thought? The Xfinity Series race, the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard, 62 laps in total. Start time 3:30 p.m. Eastern time on NBC and IMS Radio Network.
Big NBC. Yeah. There you go.
And
Let's go.
And since it's on IMS Network, I believe you get to hear Alan Bestwick commentate. Yeah, so
perhaps.
Yes. I think he's still doing it. So,
hey, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, at Indy 500 practice, David Land was commentating.
Yeah, hey, you might hear David. You might hear David.
Yeah, you might hear him.
You never know, man. And then the weather for Saturday's race: 81 degrees, increasing cloudiness, but still a 5% chance of rain.
Never heard that weather for increasing cloudiness.
That's what it says here.
That's what the weather service is saying, huh? Yeah. What do we make of that? That's jeez.
The defending race winner is Austin Cindric, so we'll see who can win. And then the Cup race for this Sunday, the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard, 82 laps in total. Start time 2:30 p.m. Eastern time on NBC, the big NBC and /IMS Radio Network. Sunday, 82 degrees, mostly sunny. Sunny and pleasant. Ooh, I like that.
I love these descriptions.
Yeah, mostly sunny and pleasant. Hey, Jared's he's with it with the weather descriptions.
I'm just copying AccuWeather.
AccuWeather.
Oh, AccuWeather. Hey, I like these descriptions. Shout out to AccuWeather. And then 11% chance of rain. The defending race winner is AJ Allmendinger. And now,
I gotta say, the weather sounds beautiful. The highs are like 80. That's good weather.
Sounds awesome. And now moving on to the betting odds on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. This weekend's favorites: Chase Elliott plus 400, Kyle Larson plus 650, Ross Chastain plus 700, Tyler Reddick plus 1,000, and Daniel Suarez plus 1,200. As for the best of the rest: Austin Cindric plus 1,200, Chase Briscoe plus 1,600, as well as Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Busch. All four of these guys are also plus 1,600.
Chase Briscoe really surprises me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, he almost won this race last year. Almost won this race a year ago. So, and we'll see what happens. As for the underdogs, it's a very interesting list. AJ Allmendinger is plus 2,000 despite being the defending race winner. It's a bit low for the previous race winner. I mean, I get he's part-time, but he won last year's race, you know? So I think
I think that's a little disrespect. That's a little bit more disrespect than the Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, definitely. And then Chris Buescher plus 3,000 and Joey Logano's plus 4,000. So they really don't think Joey Logano is going to do
that's surprising
quite well this weekend. But then these odds makers are fast with the updates. Ty Gibbs is plus 5,000 to win this race. They had Ty Gibbs' name in there like that. Like, dang, they were quick with it. And then my favorite underdog this weekend, he's making his NASCAR debut. Former F1 driver Daniel Kvyat is plus 100,000 in the betting odds to win. Not 10,000, 100,000. I mean, I get why it's his first Cup Series race, but he has raced on road courses before, and this Indianapolis road course is similar to what F1 tracks are usually. So
He ain't winning.
Yeah, he's not winning. Though.
He's not winning.
He's not winning. But hey, you know what? If you just want to take a chance, just in case, he's 100,000 in the betting odds. And before we move on, one final thing: the NASCAR Fantasy League, the NWP Fantasy League it's taken off in terms of the championship battle. Trevor Sports 98 is just plus 20 points over Toyota Tough in second. In third is 24 for Life. In fourth is Jets 48. And rounding out the top five is RGP Racing 2. So yeah. So now, oh man, Eric's gonna like this segment. I don't like this segment anymore.
Not as much as I liked it last week.
Yeah, well, I haven't liked it the past few weeks. Let's get into the pick points. Yes, the pick points. Right now, the point standings are this. Eric has the points lead with a total of 393 points. And then the chat, you are sitting P2 minus 25. In third, I'm still on the podium, but I better pick it up or I'm going to be in danger of losing it in the next few weeks. I am minus 61.
Stay in the draft.
But hey, Danny is out of the basement officially in fourth, minus 85, and you put some distance too.
For now.
Yeah, for now. And then last year's champion, Jarrett, minus 100. Yeah, sorry, bro.
I got my championship. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, sorry. But, yep, so let's get right into it. Let's get right into the picks. Eric, you are the points leader, unfortunately. So you start us off. Well, I'm in it. I'm in it too. I haven't been in it. I want to win. So yeah, sorry. I want to see you do bad. Sorry, but no, I'm kidding.
Wow,
I'm kidding.
Just blatantly wishing for my downfall.
It's just the pick points, bro. It's not like I'm wishing you to do bad in life. You know what I mean? Like,
this is life. What do you mean? If I don't have my pick points lead, what do I have?
NWP is my life.
It's life.
Yeah.
NWP is love. NWP is life. But anyways,
on that troubling note, we're going to begin with the truck race, correct?
Who is going to win this weekend's Truck Series return to IRP?
The short track.
This is an interesting one. I'm going to go, it's the first race of their playoffs. So I just think typically the guy who's been really dominant during the regular season, best couple of trucks are going to be great this first race, set the tone early. I feel like I've picked this guy a lot lately. It's bound to work out for me eventually. Zane Smith.
Okay. So since you picked Zane Smith, I will pick somebody else. Chandler Smith, a different Smith. He is going to win at IRP.
I'm also going with Chandler Smith.
Well, I actually have a list of 4 guys, and 2 of them have been taken off my list. So I'm going to choose from 2 different Toyota drivers, but I'm going to go with Ben Rhodes on this one.
Yes, and I see a couple of people picking Ben Rhodes in the chat. Let's see. I see Chandler Smith. I see a couple of Smiths.
A lot of 4s as well.
Yeah, a lot of 4s. Let's see.
A lot of 38s and 18. I feel like it's 18 or 38.
18 or 38. Let's see. So Chandler Smith. I see Smith there too. I'm seeing a tad. Well, I was seeing some more 38s, but now I'm seeing some 18s. Should I do a really quick poll between 38 and the 18?
I'm gonna be honest. I have like the broadcast on right now, and it looks like Darian is staring down at my crotch on the stream.
Oh.
Like he's literally staring right into the corner right below me.
I am looking,
and it's really creepy looking.
Darian, move your little box around. Swap where you and Jared are. Put you on the upper
there
left.
You go.
We are only
Weird,
we are only 2 minutes overtime, and Jared's already getting down bad at there.
That was the most that was so random. I was like, okay, Jared, thanks for letting me know. I'm with the cameras. But it looks like the 38. I see way more 38.
Yeah, I see 38.
I see more 38.
Yeah, so Zane Smith it is, chat. Zane Smith it is. All right, moving on. Who is going to win this weekend's?
I love the chat. Like, what the?
Oh, they're reacting to it now. That's right. Yeah, they're a bit behind. Yeah. But anyways, moving on. Who is going to win this weekend's Xfinity Series race, Eric?
Picked him at Pocono last week. He almost got it done. I'm riding with Ty Gibbs. I'll go with him 2 weeks in a row. This time he's going to actually win it.
I was going to pick Ty Gibbs as well. I'm not going to catch up to you in points, but hey, at least maybe I can catch up to the chat. So I'm going to go with the safe pick.
Ty
I think
Gibbs?
Yep.
Okay.
It's his only chance to do it in this series. Alex Bowman for the Xfinity Series, but that's the only time I'm picking him.
I'm going Ty Gibbs as well.
And so, Jared, you might have a chance to catch up, actually. Yeah, you might chance. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway,
I mean, is that a Hendrick prepared?
yeah,
car?
yeah, that is true. That is true.
I think the chat's going AJ Allmendinger.
Oh, there's a bunch of 16s. Yeah,
Pretty-
it's Allmendinger. It's
pretty
Allmendinger.
clear.
Allmendinger. Yeah, put him down. Put him down right now, Jared. Allmendinger it is. All right, so now to the NASCAR picks. First, we'll start off with who's going to suck, Eric. Who's going to suck?
I actually didn't really think about these first two. I only thought about my win picks. Shot in the dark. Let's just go Brad Keselowski to be specific.
How many Brads are there in
I
Cup?
don't know.
So he will pick Brad Keselowski. I will go. I'm gonna go in the Stuart Haas Racing camp. Not Cole Custer. He's been overused. He's been overused to oblivion this year. I will go with Eric Almirola. I think he'll suck this weekend.
I'll go Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to suck this weekend.
I pick this guy with every road course, Bubba.
Yeah, that's the go-to.
He's doing the Xfinity race, getting a little extra seat time, a little extra
Yeah,
practice.
he did that at Coda too.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah,
No,
he's done it sometimes.
I picked Bowman to win the Xfinity race, but I just because I didn't say it doesn't mean I don't think he'll do good this weekend.
All right, chat. Who do y'all pick? I'm seeing a lot of 10s. I think they just want to pick Almirola because they know what happened earlier in the year. So
Sure, that's fine.
They're going Almirola.
Yeah, Almirola. Yeah, we'll give him Almirola.
Holy crap! We went through a suck pick segment without picking Cole Custer.
Wow, nobody. That's the first
Wow.
time in years. It feels like. So.
They're gonna pick him to win, guys. I know it.
Do it.
All right. The underdogs.
Do
Who
it.
is your underdog for this weekend, Eric?
I'm going to say Ty Gibbs.
Oh God!
The way
He
he
won.
said that, though. The way he
I was like, where are you going with this?
Dude, you sound like a high pitched version of the
He's like,
Goofy trial.
Ty Gibbs. I'm a big Ty Gibbs.
He'll do it again.
The demons told me to.
He won his first ever Xfinity race on a road course. He's going to win in his, not going to win, but he's going to run really well in his second ever Cup race on a road course. It's a pattern forming.
You read my mind. I was gonna pick Ty Gibbs as well.
What?
For the underdog.
You got to do a funny voice like I did.
I'm gonna pick Ty Gibbs for the
Not the
underdog.
same voice I did, a different funny voice.
I ain't doing all that. But yeah, Ty Gibbs, put him down. And Jarrett, that's my underdog pick. Danny, go ahead.
I'll say my pick on a low pitch.
See, look what you did, Eric.
For every road course race, I pick Joey Hand as my underdog.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
I'm counting him as a dark horse because he hasn't been so hot this summer compared to the start of the year. Chase Briscoe.
So for the chat, I'm seeing a lot of 41s. I don't know if it's from the
Give
same
him
person.
Cole. Give him Cole.
All right, hey, I'm gonna give y'all Cole. Okay, give him Cole Custer. For
Okay,
underdog.
you can't pick him to win,
No,
unfortunately.
What
Cole
Stuart
in your
Haas
stocking.
Racing? What Stuart Haas Racing driver are they going to pick to win? That's going to be the fun part.
All right, and now.
Well, I think one of them actually has a good shot.
Yep. And now for the main event, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at the Indy Road Course, Eric?
You're welcome for this chat. I'm going out on a limb. Not really, because he was there at the end of last year's race. But aside from obviously his win at Phoenix and those other two races where he's bonsaied in the final corner and not made it work, Chase Briscoe has been kind of irrelevant this year. Can we just say it? But he's going to his home track, a track he almost broke through and won at last year. I think Chase Briscoe wins at Indianapolis this Sunday.
This guy is on a hot streak. Now, there was some talk about, Bubba Wallace's little streak. He actually scored top 10s for the first time in consecutive races in the Cup Series. About damn time. But this guy, in my opinion, deserves more praise. He's had, I believe, 4 or 5 straight top 10s, including a couple of top 5 finishes here and there or something. So I'm going to pick Daniel Suarez to score his second career Cup Series victory.
I'm also going with the same thought as Eric, Chase Briscoe. He was so close last year, and this is a good chance for him to get back on track a little bit.
Yeah, guys, it is hot Chase summer, so we're going Chase Elliott. I mean, seriously, the dude has 5 straight top 2s. How can someone
Don't tell
not
the
pick
chat.
him?
Don't tell the chat.
Oh,
No,
great.
They're already going
Yeah,
with him.
they-
Gosh dang it. Okay. I was hoping I could sneak one past him.
It's hot Chase summer.
I mean, do we even need to take any more? I mean, look,
No.
yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of 9s, so give him Chase Elliott. Wow, that was like one of the quickest win picks for the chat I've ever seen. Yeah, I just see a bunch of 9s everywhere, y'all.
So everyone but Darian picked Chase.
Pretty much.
A Chase.
A Chase.
Not the Chase.
Not the Chase.
I didn't
Chase.
specify which Chase. I just said Chase.
Just
AJ.
making sure.
Somebody said no, Darian. Like, what do you mean no? Y'all, that's a bunch of nines, y'all. Yeah, y'all. Picked that.
That's a lot of
What do you
nines.
mean no?
Nah, dude, nah. They were picking Chris Buescher.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, that'll do.
There's
it
the
for-
T-Pain. Ah, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, back to old times, back to the good old days. But yeah, that'll do it for this edition of the pick segment of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Before we head out, let's finish up tonight's edition of Super Chats. Thank you guys so much for.
I mean the
watching.
super chats. You mean the super chat stage break?
Oh,
Yeah, the
no,
second-
that's right. That's
second
right.
Super Chats.
Sorry, right now. Yes, this is the second and final Super Chat stage break, and then afterwards we get the checkered flag immediately because the show is basically over. So, but yeah. So let's get right into it. Let me scroll all the way back down. Okay. All right. I'm all caught up. All right. Let's get started. Harvick fan or K Harvick fan for 429. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I hope Kurt gets back before. But if he doesn't, what if he isn't back by the first playoff race? What does NASCAR do because he's in from that waiver? And it's like with Jared.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm
Jared
saying.
feels
That's what-
so just
Pay
he's
attention.
vindicated now.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but hey, just be on the lookout. Pay attention. All depends on when he comes back. Bruce Morgan with the $5 super chat. Pocono was a huge win for NASCAR. So much controversy has everyone talking, and Elliott won. Icing on the cake. Yeah, sounds like an Elliott fan right there. And then Chips Never with the $5 super chat. Hamlin, I'm going to make the headlines this week by forcing Chastain into a wreck. NASCAR, yes, but also no. I feel like, yeah, you said that earlier. Yeah, he said it twice. Huh? Well, thank you again. I appreciate it. Next Gen Nitro with the $5 super chat. Darian, you still owe Michael a caution record video. I know. I'll get to it. Eventually. I'll get to it. Yeah, I know I owe him one. Marky Mark with the $5 super chat. As a Blaney fan, I'm super nervous. Love the podcast, guys. As you should be nervous. You should be nervous. And thank you so much for watching. And sorry, we're making you more nervous by talking about Ryan Blaney potentially missing the playoffs.
Darren, his mic just go out?
Darren just muted himself.
Oh.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
I was like, it got quiet.
I barely brushed the mute button, and sorry.
Wow.
All right, my bad. But yeah, thank you, Nova Stone. Appreciate it. Thomas Betty with the $5 super chat. Are any of you going to be at Indy? Because I plan on going to all the races this weekend. And Eric, how is my Bobby Labonte tin doing? Oh, that's you! Hey!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And where do you
He's
have
gonna
it?
go get it.
Where do you? Yep, go get it. Hey, that's cool. I remember.
But no, none of us are going to be there
Yeah,
unless Kyle Larson's racing
Nah.
IndyCar. Then I'll go.
Yeah.
I will be at WWE SummerSlam this weekend. That's where I will be.
There it is. It's awesome.
I like that. Isaac in the chat says Darian is RDW.
Nice the noises and everything.
Eric,
That's
put it on
cool.
top of the microwave like I did.
Did you hear the wobbles?
Yeah, I'm saying put it on top of the microwave like put it on top of the microwave like I did at Daytona.
Yeah, it's a little crispy on one end.
Oh,
But thank you so much, Thomas. Appreciate it. And then Robert with the $5 super chat. I have been going to races since 2006, and I have to say Ryan Blaney's wreck this weekend was the loudest I heard. Shows they have no give. Very unsafe. I think he's referring to these next gen cars not having enough, give, when after these cars wreck. Wow, that says a lot right there. So we'll see. And they definitely have to address the safety concerns for sure. Doubles Gaming with the $5 Canadian super chat. There was one point during the Cup race where Noah and Gibbs were battling each other. Yeah, for 30th. Yeah, I remember. I was keeping track of that. Yeah, I was keeping track of that. Yeah. But don't worry, we'll see them battle each other up front in the Cup Series in the future for sure. And then Robert Russo with the $5 super chat. Another one. Thanks, bro. Chase Elliott eating a bag of peanut M&Ms. Oh my God. There's tape in my bag of M&Ms. I'll just put it here, and this will give me the win. Oh, there's another.
This was the moment Darian realized he'd muted himself.
God, you're so fast with these screenshots. How do you do it, man? Oh.
I like how I can just like rub your face.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
good.
Side note, just want to say thanks to our lovely mods who are taking care of the chat as we get some spam bots coming in.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Y'all work very hard. And then Corbin Rogers with the $5 super chat. Who's got more personality, Cole Custer or Paul Menard? Ooh, that's
I've seen Paul Menard smile a few times.
I mean, Cole Custer has done a few of these little Custer review videos, but outside of that, I mean, I might have to get the edge to Menard, the slight edge. Yeah.
They both have the same amount of cup wins.
Yeah, that's a fact. Hot Piss with the $2 super chat. Excited to be at the Indy race on Sunday. Go Blaney. Yep, have fun, bro. The Tide Ride with the $10 super chat. Great to meet you this weekend, Eric. Oh, and his name is spelled, Eric's name is spelled E-R-I-C, not E-R-I-K, like Eric Jones. But hey, you were close enough. But anyways, he says, great to meet you this weekend, Eric. You may remember me as the Kyle Busch fan rating the 3 chai tent and its delicacies, and my bro wore that fine souvenir we got to work today. Oh, that's cool. The Logano fan, he said, was his brother.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They
did get some pretty cool. I happen to have some extra swag laying around, so that was cool.
That's what's up. That's cool. And then Muffire with the, Muffire 924. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. What I meant was Jeff is number 1 in terms of wins at Pocono. Oh, okay. That's what you meant earlier. Okay, thanks for clarifying that. I appreciate it. And then Chris with the $14 super chat. Okay, says, so with the chance that we have 17 winners this season, is Chase Briscoe safe? In the same line, what has happened to Briscoe? He was never dominating, but it seems like a big drop-off after Bristol, and we had just mentioned that. I agree. Maybe he can pick it back up this weekend. I think it's just a case of, he's still a young driver developing, and Stewart-Haas Racing, they just aren't what they used to be. And it's just the truth, unfortunately. So yeah. I think it's a combination of those things. And then M. Martin Fan for Life. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He says, Chevy/Toyota break the rules, slap on the wrist, Ford throw the book at him. Well, McDowell did get penalized this weekend, so yeah, I see what you're trying to say. And then Travis Booton with the $2 super chat. Have you seen the RCR announcement set for August 2nd, 2022? Yep, and it is clearly Austin Hill. You will not tell me otherwise. It is definitely Austin Hill for sure.
Oh, Busch.
Groovy Goose with the $2 super chat. Congrats on trending, Eric. Jarrett, please spin the UFO. Spin the UFO, please. Thank you. And then Smokey Bandit, I love that name, with the $10 super chat. I'm curious if Red Bull was involved in Oracle not signing due to Kyle Busch's rowdy energy being a competitor. Ooh.
That's a possibility.
Ooh.
Do you think Red Bull's really worried about Rowdy? With all due respect, do you think they are? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a conflict, I suppose, but
hey,
I don't know.
They're still technically a competitor, though. I guess.
Yeah, sure, true.
But yeah, it's a very small competitor, but it's still a competitor. Yeah. Wow, I didn't think about that. Thanks for bringing that up. Corvette Racing 48. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Kyle Busch and Rick Hendrick have unfinished business. Ooh, he wants him to go over to Hendrick. I mean, that is very intriguing considering he did start his career there. But if he does end up going to Stewart-Haas Racing, remember this. Kyle Busch made his first Truck Series starts with Roush Racing at just the age of 16. So yeah, he started off his career at Ford. Yeah, so yeah. And then Muffire again with the $5 super chat. Junior Motorsports to Cup next year with Alex Bowman in the 88 with Ally. Kyle Larson moves to the 48. Kyle Busch to the 5. Maybe Hendrick will try to get Cal Logs back to come. That sounds like a dream scenario.
This is a fantasy. What is going on?
It's a good fantasy, but
you're just having fun. I get it.
We're having fun. And then
fan fictions and NASCAR too.
But wait, he's got a point.
Point though. And then Robert Chalker with the $1 super chat. Thanks.
Robert, what?
This is Chalker. It's spelled.
I thought you said Robert Chonker.
Oh, no. It sounds so bad. We're so late into the show. Oh my god. And then Jacob Howe with the $5 super chat. I think Kyle would be. I think Kyle could find a great sponsor in Kleenex. Hold on, I'm not done. The king of crying could become the lead spokesperson.
Dang.
The world's most reliable tissue. Oh man, some of these sponsor lists, man. I love y'all. Y'all
Get Jimmy Spencer on those so he can bring a crying towel for the ads.
Crying towel, yeah. Andrew Mayer with the $5 super chat. Getting revenge on Ross, winning the race, getting DQ'd, and ultimately finishing behind Ross. I'd say that is the most Denny Hamlin thing to happen that I've ever seen. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Zach Taylor with the $5 super chat. How about Kyle Busch to GMS? I feel like they're the next track house. Whoa, well, he's giving them high praise. Plus, the owner will help him find sponsorship. I mean,
Busch to the 42. I don't know. At that point, he probably would take the pay cut, stay with Gibbs. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be weird though if Petty GMS included? Well, I guess kind of it still does. It includes nothing but former JGR drivers.
That would be great.
It would be cool seeing Kyle Busch and Eric Jones teammates again, since Busch is the one who kind of discovered Jones.
Yeah. And then Burritos with the $2 super chat. Oh yeah, he's referencing last night's upload. Joey, I love you. One of the most cringy songs of all time. Pats with the $5 super chat. Eric saw a guy wearing Out of the Groove shirt at New Hampshire. I guess. Well,
cool.
I guess what he meant to say was he saw a guy wearing an Out of the
Groove. Nice, love it.
That's what's up.
Beautiful. That's cool.
And then, Noah Lewis, the famous NASCAR reporter. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Didn't say anything, just showing his support. Really appreciate that, big dog. Nova Stone 12 with the $2 super chat. Thoughts on a potential return of the Craftsman sponsorship to the Truck Series? Yes, that was also reported.
Cool.
That would be cool. Yep.
Craftsman Truck Series.
Call it the Craftsman Super Truck Series, like when they first started. That'd be cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be a major throwback. That'd be awesome. We're almost done with super chats, y'all. I promise. And Napa Racing Fan 927, thanks for the 5. ARCA sucks now. Yeah, true. Make it the Electric Series. Also, should Indy move back to the Oval? I say move it to May, so IndyCar only has to run the Indy Road Course once. Yeah, I would.
I'm all for the. I don't know about the month, but I'm all for the Oval return.
Yeah, I agree. Like, look, the month
ratings
of May,
wise, that'd be the best.
The
best
month
way.
of May, that belongs to IndyCar. That they've been running that for literally hundreds of years. So having NASCAR step
hundreds.
in, it wouldn't feel right.
Hundreds,
decades, but yes.
No, I'm saying the month of May has been around since the Indy 500 has been around since 1911.
About 100 years. I get your seat.
I was about to say the month of May itself.
No, not the month of May. Not the month. Yeah. No.
When were months invented? Let's talk about that.
No. We gotta get through these super chats.
Was it the Greeks?
Late nights of NWP.
Ancient Rome.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after once.
Did the cavemen have months?
Melon Smasher 1 with the $5 super chat. Darian. The reason I say Darian, you spelled it with the E, but I still appreciate that, bro. Darian, you know what to do. Joey. I love you. Ugh.
By the way, I have an answer for Eric. The months were created by the ancient Sumerian calendar, which roughly dated back to the year 2100 BC, in which they divided a year into 12 lunar months of 29 or 30 days. So it's been around since 2100 BC.
Wow.
Feels like yesterday. And that's when the first Indy 500 was run. Fun fact.
Napa Racing Fan 927, thanks for the 2-hour super chat. What are y'all's reviews of SRX this year? Well, it sounds like they crowned the wrong champion. That's what it sounds
mediocre.
like. Yeah, mediocre though for
sure. It was fine. It felt like a lot of just last. Willie T. Gribb's not made for TV. Let me just end that there. But
wish them luck. Wish them luck.
Yeah, definitely wish them luck for sure.
There were no feet questions this year. That was
good point. Melon Smasher 1 with another $2 super chat. Danny, who's your pick for the for Saturday? Roman or Brock for the WWE event?
Trick question. I think they beat the crap out of each other. There's no winner, and Austin Theory cashes in.
Ooh, interesting. And then Melon Smasher again with the $5 super chat. Boys, Can we get Megan from the Joey Logano song in the chat? No. I don't think she'll ever come on the show ever.
I wonder, is she still singing? What is she doing?
No, she hasn't uploaded in 5 years, and she's grown at this point. She's around our age, I think, now. So
I hope she's okay.
yeah.
She quit as soon as Darian got on YouTube.
Oh no!
You jinxed her.
NASCAR Bowman 48 with the $5 super chat. What's all your guys' opinion if Johnson has to do the double on Indy and Charlotte weekend? Would he drive the 91 for Trackhouse? Justin Marks said on NASCAR Reddit he would be interested to have Johnson do that. So yeah, I mean, it is a strong possibility. That'd be cool.
I just hope the scheduling works out. Sometimes those races are too close together.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully it works out.
If he ever did do that, I would hope that they could reach out and get Lowe's on for one race and one race only.
And finally, the last super chat of the night comes from Pat 02537. Thank you so much for the 2-hour super chat. Darian jinx KG's Texas race in NASCAR Thunder 2004. Did I? Is he streaming that right now?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Kamikaze Games loves doing those full races. How did I don't think. Was I even there? I don't know.
Hey, I want to point something out here real quick before you read this last super chat. Spencer 5478 brought up a good point that we should have had in our lightning round. NASCAR Chasm, although we've all seen his face, he's finally revealed his face to the internet.
Yes, and Jared, he saw his face long before he revealed it, so we already knew what he looked like anyway.
Yeah. Wait, have you not seen it, Darren?
No, I never. Well, I haven't seen the video yet. No, I mean I heard he did do it though.
I've seen him a few times. I thought you saw him too. My bad.
Okay. No. And then the final super chat from Trevor Bailey. Thank you so much for the 2-hour super chat. Darian is going to jinx someone this weekend. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But probably so.
Safe bet.
And yeah, that'll do it for the final super chat stage break. And now we have officially hit the start-finish line, checkered flag, on this edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Make sure to join us next week, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, August 3rd, on the Icebergs channel. And we'll be going over the events from Indianapolis Motor Speedway race weekend and preview the Michigan race weekend. But fellas, awesome show. And hey, we're just stopping damn near at 2 hours and 30 minutes like we talked about.
Noah's pointing out in the chat, Darren, you met him at Bristol.
I did?
And Indianapolis last year.
I did, dude. Oh, I don't.
You got to watch this video. You'll be like, I remember that.
I gotta watch it. Yeah, once I see it, then I'll be like, okay, then I've seen him. Okay, got you. So I have met him before. See, okay, but yeah,
just needed a reminder.
Yeah, just need a reminder every now and then. But yeah, so catch the NASCAR Weekly Podcast next week. Once again, August 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night on the Icebergs channel. But fellas, awesome show tonight. Consistently over 700 views tonight. Really appreciate y'all.
Peaked over 8.
Yeah, peaked over 800. Hey,
thanks for tuning in, everybody.
We had a lot of news to talk about, so hey, I don't blame y'all for tuning in. So I really appreciate
Eric, do you have a Dale call?
He has.
Oh, I do.
Call. Yeah, he has a Dale call.
Just making sure.
Yeah, just making sure. But yeah, really appreciate that. But anybody else have anything else to say?
Give it the poke with the pencil. It works better that way.
No.
But yeah, if not, we're gonna head out. But again,
I like Chips Never's comment. Let's hope Indianapolis fix those curbs.
Yeah. Okay, yes. one final super chat, I promise. Chips Never, thanks for the 2 hours.
That's literally what Terry just.
Oh, that's what you said. Dang it. I'm sorry.
Get us off the air.
Let's get us off the air. I'm so tired.
Vroom, vroom, vroom,
vroom, vroom, vroom, vroom. Goodbye.
Green. Holy moly.
Joey.
Guys.
I love you.
Hell yeah. Great job, man.
And we got a crash. Car spinning left and right.
Buddy, let her rip. Rain like hell, baby. Come on. Oh my God, guys. Yes. Unbelievable. You guys are the best. Yes. Oh, what a year.